Curtis Law, the game-winning lawyer.
I'm a link in the chain. I am a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I'm 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 a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I'm 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 a link in the chain.
When you play one of us, you play all of us.
It's a bounce-back week for the Highland Park Scots as they return home after a rare district loss in Lake Highlands a week ago. The quest for the 9th straight district title continues tonight. It's the Highland Park Scots and the Irving Tigers presented by Game On Sports. The JSX pregame show is next.
I actually look forward to car shopping with Sewell because I know that the whole process is going to be seamless, comfortable, and we're going to be taken care of. Buying a car is a big life event. I just felt very relaxed through the whole process. They put us at ease. There wasn't any pressure. It really felt like we were sitting at home trying to buy a car, especially with the cookies. I drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Cadillac.
Imagine there's a better way to fly that's anything but ordinary, where crowds are a thing of the past and your schedule stays your own, where stress will vanish before your eyes. Because with us, your flight is a joyful part of your journey. We take you where you want to go with all the things you value most. So whoever you are or whatever the reason, we're so glad you decided to depart from the ordinary.
Scots find a way.
Scots, find a way.
Scots find a way.
Scott, find a way.
Summer has sauced it at the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown.
Scots find a way.
Scots, find a way.
It's caught. He didn't get in. Highland Park is back-to-back state champion.
Scots find a way.
Scots, find a way.
We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
Tell us we can't do it. You wouldn't be the first. Every season begins with a dream, and we are paying the price to achieve ours. Sure, it's not easy. That's why we're surrounded by people who've got our backs. So go ahead, tell us we can't do it. Then watch us. Vista Bank. Entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912.
Yeah, I'm a monster. I'm a great world wonder. I'm about that action. You don't want no drama. Renegade, you've been a slave, I've been free. No strongholds, can't lock me. They'll remember me forever like a memory.
And here we go.
I'm a monster. Are you ready for it now? Ain't nowhere you can run. It's about to go down. I'm a monster. Are you ready for it now? Ain't nowhere you can run. It's about to go down. Are you ready for me now?
Welcome to Highlander Stadium. This is the JSX pregame show, JSX private jet perks at airline prices. We're here for the Highland Park Scots and the Irving Tigers. Will Washington here alongside Mikey Lamar joining us here again, straight back from Japan. We missed you the last 2 weeks. Good to have you back with us tonight here.
Yeah, it's good to be back. You know, missed the Friday night lights, so it's really good to be back here at Highlander Stadium for a home game.
It was a tough one a week ago. The Scots had a rare district loss. 51-41 over at Lake Highland. So they start 0-1 in the district. There were some highlights, though, especially offensively in the running game. Let's check out some of these highlights from the Lake Highlands game just a week ago. You're going to see a lot of running highlights, Mikey. A lot of great stuff out of this two-back formation. You see here the pitch to Keller Holmes takes it in the end zone.
Yeah, it looks really good there. Warren Peck on the speed option there. I like that two-back set. I think we're going to see more of that tonight, but Keller Holmes looking good in these so far.
And then right here, you see a really good read by Warren Peck. Just had a phenomenal night running the football, finds that seam, takes it all the way. That was a big touchdown. It really kept Highland Park in the game early right here, and you just see this burst of speed really turn it into a dual-threat quarterback.
Yeah, something we said at the beginning of the year was that Peck was a pocket passer, but I think he's kind of shedding that and looking more like a dual threat.
So a lot of running highlights for the Scots, and we think they're going to build on it tonight right here. You see Warren Peck, not only can he find open grass and really turn on the Jets, he's been really dangerous on the goal line this season, has a number of touchdowns, run it in. You see the power right there getting in.
Yeah, I mean, when you're 6'4", 220, when you need 1 yard, it's pretty easy to get that in. You see Peck doing it right there.
Right, you'll see another one. Drops back, it's a draw, cuts it out left there. This is the next day when they had to come back and play on Saturday. Takes it all the way. Really kept Highland Park in this one was Warren Peck. Scots had 324 rushing yards. Warren Peck had 200 of them. He had 5 rushing touchdowns, Mikey. So even though it was a tough loss right here, a lot of stuff that these Scots can build on. The thing you're circling right there is the fact that Lake Highlands had 616 total yards, 379 of them on the ground. They just did a really good job running back. Deontay Day was just really unstoppable for the Scots. Did a really good job, though, on the ground. Highland Park did. Need to work on that passing game. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but you see the success that the Scots had with Warren Peck back there in the two-back formation when Wilson actually was next to Keller Holmes. They did a lot of cool stuff out of that. I think they found something that can really work for them. We expect them to build off of it here tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, when you got a quarterback that can run the ball, it just adds a whole nother dimension to your offense. And then you throw in the two-back sets that we know Coach Allen loves to use a lot. And, yeah, it's a very dynamic running game that Highland Park's developing right now.
Yeah, it's impressive. And one of the things that we were seeing, we saw them starting to do this against Louisville. So a team that came in with a really good defense here at Highlander Stadium. Highland Park really started to have some success when they would use that two-back formation. They were really attacking space in a lot of different areas, really attacking the flats. And you see that with Wilson and with Keller. These are two guys that are electric. Both of them can play receiver.
Yep.
And so it's just really tough when you put that quarterback in the run game. You got 3 guys that you have to worry about. And so for the Scots, we're thinking that this is something they can do a lot of things on. Coach Allen, a lot of times he's not going to show a lot in the early season.
Yep.
And so as they get into district play, I think there's some creative things they can do with those 3 guys on the field at the same time, Mikey.
Yeah, I totally think so too. You see that little speed option where the running back to Peck's right, it was Keller Holmes on that one of those highlights. He came back around and ran a speed option, and Wilson blocked. You can mix it up like plays like that, read options out of that, even just straight gives with a running back leading the blocking. It's really hard for a defense to know what's coming when you got 3 guys who can run the ball in one backfield. So, like we said, very dynamic and very hard to stop, and also big for controlling games, like we saw against Louisville. Having a good running attack really allows you to control a game like they did against Louisville a couple weeks ago.
That's a positive that we expect them to build on.
Yeah.
The issue, Mikey, is we got to be honest, there were a lot of negatives, and we want to turn the page and get to this one, but we got to do that by addressing some of these things. What's the biggest thing you saw a week ago that you want to see the Scots address here tonight?
I think on defense, it's just filling your hole, just being in your gap where you're supposed to do, playing sound fundamental football. I think Lake Highlands did a great job up front running the ball, and I think that's a testament to them and their offensive line and their work in the trenches. But I do think this Highland Park team can fill those gaps and be equally as good as that Lake Highlands offensive line was in the trenches on the defensive side of the ball. And so I expect to see Highland Park clean that up today. Their front 7 really shined today, coming off not their best game ever. I expect them to clean it up and have a really good game tonight.
We know that they've been emphasizing that all throughout the week, and so we're going to talk about more of the things we want to expect here tonight as they get set to take on the Irving Tigers in the 2nd district game of the season. We're going to preview that coming up here. This is Hadley's Highlight, a look back at some of the positives from Lake Highlands a week ago.
The best part about being a neighborhood bank is the neighborhood. It's the parks. It's the ball games. And it's the people we get to call neighbors. It's the friendly faces we see on the streets and in our lobby. Because at Benchmark, it's not about numbers. It's about neighbors. Our neighbors. Benchmark has your back. Benchmark Bank, family owned by Texans since 1964.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. Team Baker Brothers scored a big one with its touchdown tune-up.
That unit sure has some cool moves.
I'll admit it, Jimmy. That's one super shuffle.
Free smart home thermostat with a new Lennox AC system.
Our name, Residential Capital Partners, reflects who we are and how we treat our customers. At Residential Capital Partners, we are dedicated to helping our customers build wealth through real estate. Residential Capital Partners, America's private lender.
Welcome back to the JSX pregame show. JSX now flying nonstop to Boulder, Colorado and Las Vegas. Boulder, Colorado, Mikey, a little shout out to Coach Prime right there. We'll see if the Scots are coming tonight. Will Washington here with Mikey Lamar. We're previewing the Highland Park Scots and the Irving Tigers. And Mikey, they want to bounce back tonight. These are the district standings just after 1 week, so you can't really look too much into it. It's very early in the season, but it is part of the journey. You got Jesuit and Lake Highlands on top right there. They might play tonight. We need to check that, but that's going to be a huge matchup that the Scots are looking out for. And the Scots in 2 weeks, they have a bye week next week, so they have Jesuit at SMU in a couple weeks here. So much time left in the season, but that's going to be the one that they're circling for sure. I mean, you got to take care of business tonight. You want to look good tonight and continue to head in a positive direction, but still plenty of time right here. But when you start in that 0-1 hole, you do have to look at this a little bit here.
Yeah, that's something the Scots aren't used to, is they don't control their own destiny in district right now. But when that is the case, all you can do is just beat the team in front of you. And so I think that's what they're going to do tonight, and then go into the bye week, get ready for Jesuit, and then come out at SMU looking ready to play.
And so that's it. The biggest thing tonight is just trying to get that bounce back. So still plenty of time. A lot of these big rivalries still in play here. So it's all going to start with tonight. And in order to bounce back, Mikey, it's all going to start here at home sweet home, Highlander Stadium. The Scots have had a tremendous amount of success here over the years. We've been talking about it for a long time. They're 122-2 at home since 1998. And so really just a dominant run they've had here. They had an 84-game win streak at Highlander from 99 to 2015. And this bounce back factor is real. This Scots team, it's not only just being here, it's a great place to do it. They're 8-0 over the past decade when they have a regular season loss. And so they know that there's a lot of great things ahead of them. This team traditionally has been really good when they have a tough one. We've seen this happen before. What do you think allows the Scots to have so much success when they do get hit in the mouth a little bit in the regular season, coming back and really playing strong the next week?
You know, I think you got to look at the culture of Highland Park. I mean, this is just the winning mentality here runs so deep, and I think when these guys have an off week, they're not used to that, but they come out stronger the next week. They go back to the drawing board. The coaches get them ready to play, and I think after losses, they just come out extra focused, and I think that goes back to the culture here at Highland Park.
I was talking to the cornerback and captain Wes Giese this week, and I asked him, I said, Wes, what's the focus this week? The first two words out of his mouth were bounce back.
Yep.
And then when you talk to some of these players, one of the things that they like to reference is that the 2016 team had a tough district loss, and then they came back, ran the table, and ended up winning a state championship. And so one of the things they were talking about is that's just something that's known around this program, is one loss, especially early, is actually not a bad thing because it can reveal some things that you need to work on. One of the things in talking to some of these players this week, they really emphasized is that they felt like last week really deepened their bonds, deepened their camaraderie. You really saw some of these pictures that came out of them just kind of locking arms. And so you know that when you have a loss like that early, it actually can really make you dig deeper, block out the noise a little bit, and really figure out who you are And so Highland Park has a history of being successful after loss. You know they're going to try to tap into that here tonight.
Yeah, because a loss it forces you to just kind of look at yourself in the mirror and say, who are we? What do we want to accomplish this year? I think it does something that winning doesn't do, and that it makes you just focus on the little things and refocus your whole mindset back on, who are we? What's our identity as a team, and what do we want to accomplish this year? I think, a loss in some ways can be good in that aspect, in that it just gets the team refocused. It just gets them, reoriented on the goal for the season.
I mean, this team is usually senior heavy, and so last year that was the case. They returned just 5 starters, so 17 new starters coming in this season. I remember talking to some of them in that first scrimmage that just being on the field for a varsity competition, especially as a starter, it's different. And so it's a week-to-week thing. You get a big win against Louisville, but you know that every single team that you play, it's going to be their Super Bowl. And so Lake Highlands, you got to give them credit. They showed up. And so coming in here, tonight, Highland Park's going to really try to tap into that. But we got to talk about this, Mikey, before we go to break here. A very successful night last night for the JV and freshman teams. We want to give a little preview of the future each week. New little feature we're going to do. We're going to look back at last night and look at some of these other games. So, Mikey, you start here. It was a sweep for the Scots, the JV Gold. They got a win over at Allen, so a huge win for them, 49-7 going across the town here. Really big win for them. JV Blue, they got a huge win, 61-12. We're going to come back to that one. The freshman Gold got a big win versus North Crowley, 28-0, got the shutout. And then the freshman Blue team got a huge win here against Irving, 49-0. So the defense of the freshmen, you got to love that. And we got to give a big shout out here to the JV Blue team. Mikey, we heard our boy Sam Montgomery, quarterback, a.k.a. Sammy Dimes, throwing 4 touchdowns in the first half. You got to give a shout out to our boy Sammy Dimes.
Yeah, we know Sam. Sam's a great kid, and we just love to see him succeeding out there on the field. So incredible first half performance from Sam, and we love to see that.
Now Cannon Bozeman, freshman or JV Blue team, had a kick return for a touchdown. So a lot of skill talent coming up through the ranks here for the Scots, and that's a big deal. You know that these freshmen, these JV teams, they're progressively running the offense and the defense to try to get them ready for Friday night. So last night you get some big wins like that. That really kind of carries you in, and it's important for the future here.
Yeah, especially as the kind of machine that Highland Park football is. Just seeing these young guys, they keep producing them, and it looks like that's continuing with these young guys we got right now.
So we'll be giving these guys shout-outs throughout the rest of the season here. This is the JSX pregame show as the Highland Park Scots get set to take on the Irving Tigers here at Highlander Stadium. We're going to preview this game coming up right after this.
What can you tell us about Irving?
So they run a 3-man front primarily, and they've got some meat up front. They're not as fast, but they've really got some meat up front. They'll probably blitz against us a lot just to make up for maybe the lack they have on pass pro. So as an O-line unit, we're really going to have to pick up that blitz and shut them down early.
It's going to be a lot of cover 2, and they're a lot like our defense, so it'll be a lot of cover 2. But I bet they'll go into man quite a lot because, like Will said, they're going to be blitzing, and they're going to have to be able to stick on our men rather than having zones to fill with those backers gone.
Right. And do they do anything out of the ordinary, or
not really?
Do they crowd you at the line or not?
Not really. They're a lot like our defense, and we see them a lot of. We see our defense a lot in practice, so it's close to being the same.
We're expecting them to run a lot of funky H-back formations. Sometimes they put in a tackle over, at the tight end position, just to get that offensive flow one way. And we just need to go set a hard edge and stop that. But I think I'm just excited to get back on the field, like I said earlier, because us as a defense, we're fired up, and no matter what they throw at us, we're going to play for each other and go hard.
Well, this game's not about Irving, it's about us. And it's about us going out and proving what kind of football team we have. So, our focus has been on getting better and about us going out and playing what way we're capable of playing. And the champion doesn't get beat often, but when they do, they can't wait to get back on the field and make amends and set the record straight. So that's our goal, is to go out and play the way we're capable of playing.
Sewell is definitely
a part of my family. Everyone, just has this great smile that we are happy to see you. We're so glad you're here. They really care about people, and that's not something you find at every dealership. I love to leave a dealership feeling peaceful, and I've never experienced that until Sewell. I drive a Sewell.
Discover our wide variety of new and certified pre-owned vehicles at Sewell Buick GMC.
Conveniently located between Lovers Lane and University Boulevard on Preston Road. Not Just Soccer is locally owned and has served the Highland Park community for youth sports equipment needs since 1989. Whether you're looking for soccer, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, or lacrosse equipment, they carry it all, and they take pride with specialists in each sport, and in many circumstances, you'll be helped by a current Highland Park athlete. Go Scots!
Highland Park Village, Dallas's premier shopping and dining destination.
Welcome back to the JSX pregame show. JSX, discover crowd-free flying on roomy 30-seat jets. Will Washington here with Mikey Lamar. We're live at Highlander Stadium as the Highland Park Scots get set to take on the Irving Tigers for the second district game. They're 0-1 in district, so looking to bounce back here tonight. And Mikey, one thing that's certainly going to help them, it's the weather. It's the first game they've been able to kick it off on the original time of 7 o'clock. And it's because the expected game time temperatures are 78 degrees here. And so it's going to be a much nicer evening right here. And I think it's going to be a pleasant night. You're going to start to feel that fall football feel.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good night to bounce back here, Mikey.
Yeah, I mean, even in the sun, it feels pretty good. So once that sun sets and we get the night game going, I think it's going to feel really good. And I think it'll only help the Scots tonight.
We're going to preview the Irving Tigers here. This is our opponent's scouting report. The Irving Tigers coming into Highlander Stadium, 0-2 on the season. They lost to Fort Worth Pascal 38-6 and South Garland 14-10. So, Mikey, they've struggled a little bit offensively overall. They are a run-heavy team, so they love to run the football. In the last game they played, they had 43 rushing attempts and 7 passing attempts. And we were just watching their warm-up here right behind us. A lot of running. You could see the passing game was more quick stuff, pretty limited. Mm-hmm. So we expect them. They're going to try to run the football tonight, slow it down. They had 4 turnovers. Mm-hmm. And so even with being a running team, they are a turnover-prone team. Player to watch, Adriel Pena. He's a guy who's been getting a lot of touches for him. And so really a lot of it's going to come down to Highland Park stopping the run. But what stands out to you? You've looked at the Irving Tigers a little bit. Mm-hmm. What jumps off to you about them right now?
I think, like you said, they're very run-heavy, and so for Highland Park, I think a key is going to get them behind the chains. They don't pass very well, so if the Scots can get stops on first and second down, force them into these uncomfortable third and longs, I think they'll have a lot of success on defense against that offense. I think, like you're saying, Adriel Pena, he looked really good on tape. He's undersized back, but he's very quick. He's really good running between the tackles, especially for a smaller back. So I'd expect him to be kind of the guy the Scots are keying on for most of the game.
They really do play that defense, as you heard in those player interviews right there. Mm-hmm. It's similar to Highland Park. They're going to play that 3-man front a little bit. They're going to play with 2 safeties back is what they were talking about. Yep. And so trying to take away that deep pass if they can. And then sometimes they're going to switch to man-to-man. And so it really is an opportunity for the Scots to bounce back here tonight. We said a week ago, Lake Highlands came in turnover prone. I have to own it. My guarantee was that the Scots were going to force 2 turnovers. They didn't. They did turn it over twice. So I flipped it. Yep. And so tonight it's a similar thing where Irving can put it on the ground a little bit. And so I think there are some opportunities. If you got to make that tackle first, you got to wrap it up. But if you have an opportunity to get to the ball there, you want to try to do that here tonight.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think a big key for the Scots is getting the run game going early, even like the short passing game, just to open up deeper shots down the field, get those safeties cheating up a little bit. I think if the Scots are able to do that, and they're able to start quickly too, because with a run-heavy team, they're not built to come from behind. So if the Scots can get the run game going and start quickly, I think they'll be in a really good position to win this football game.
Mike, let's talk about that. These are some of the keys to the game we have tonight. And when we say keys to the game tonight, really what I'm talking about is these are the things I want to see them get better at tonight.
Yep.
This is what I want to see in a bounce-back week. A lot of it's get back to the basics. And so offensively, let's talk about that for a minute. I want to see the passing timing and the protection improve. And so when we went back and watched the game last week, one of the biggest things I saw offensively that I think there's room for improvement is the passing game timing. And so there were times where Warren Peck just wasn't on the same page with the receivers. Mm-hmm. And this is an offense where the timing really matters. You saw it on some of the crossing routes. It's really important to be on the same page. And one of the reasons was just the protection. It was really tough. They were blitzing a lot of guys, a lot of times sending 6 or 7 even at him. I believe the average throw he would make was under 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And so that's an extremely fast time to toss that. And 7-on-7, they have a 4-second timer. And so to be throwing a football with 1.8, 1.9 seconds, that's going to be tough on the timing. And so tonight, I really want to see, especially as they get into district play, they're going to need to be able to throw the ball a little bit more. I want to see them get that timing tonight.
Yeah, I think we'll see an improvement on that tonight for sure. We know that Irving plays 3-4 base, very similar to Highland Park's. So I think for the offensive line and the running backs and pass protection, they'll be seeing looks that they're more used to seeing, which I think will help the protection, give Warren a little bit more time to throw, and I think that'll allow him to be more on page with his receivers tonight.
And then defensively, we say run defense, and really, Mikey, what we're talking about, we're saying base defense. Mm-hmm. So I was talking to some Highland Park coaches this week, and I think one of the biggest things that's clearly being emphasized is a lot of it, they're saying, hey, it's nothing schematic. We just got to get back to our base defense. And so tonight, I think that's really what they're going to focus on, is not going to throw a ton necessarily at Irving. They're going to want to show, hey, we can run our base 3-4. We can fill our gap. These linebackers can come in. We can wrap up. We can make tackles. And so I want to see good fundamental defense. I want to see a physical defense. I want to see them with gap control and really doing a great job making tackles at the point of attack.
Yeah, so some of the players I talked to this week told me that in practice they were stressing back to basics this week, and so I expect them to come out and just, like you're saying, play kind of their base defense, what we're used to seeing. We know that they can do that. We know that they can play sound, fundamental defensive football like they did against Louisville, like they did against Marcus for most of the game. So I'm expecting to see them get back to basics tonight and play that fundamental Highland Park football that we're used to seeing from them.
And a lot of that with that base defense is you want to see a quick start. And so that was one of the things that was tough last week. It was a tough start. They started with a big touchdown pass, and then they just really got their run game going, and it became hard to really figure out what they were doing. They attacked them in a lot of places. And so, the coaching staff this week, the biggest emphasis has been, hey, let's get back to the fundamentals. We did it against Louisville. That was a really physical team. That was a team that wanted to run the football. And so when we're up in the press box watching this first half, Mikey, I'm just wanting to see them be really disciplined and do a good job with technique. And so we know that they have that, and that's going to be really important here going into the bye week. And then the third one we talked about here is we want to see them play with energy and urgency. And so I said it in the pregame last week. One of the things I was a little nervous about was just coming in off that big home win against Louisville when everyone thought you were the underdog. Human nature creeps in a little bit. You start hearing the noise. Everybody's saying you're pretty good. It's hard to be as intense and as focused, no matter how much you're listening to your coaches. And even with them talking about that during the week, they came out flat. And so that was one of the things that I've heard these players talk about this week, is they've just felt this intensity, this focus, this sharpness in practice. And so that's what I want to see here tonight in this bounce-back game. A lot of it is more attitude. It's more of that kind of focus and intensity than I think anything else.
Yeah, I remember back when I was playing, Coach Allen wanted us to start fast, and so he would play the song "Start Me Up" by the Rolling Stones every practice for that week. And the coaches just did a great job of getting us ready that week to start fast and to come out strong. And I think if the Scots can do that tonight, it's going to put them in a really good place to win this football game, because like we said earlier, run teams don't come from behind very well. So if the Scots can start fast tonight, I think it'll really help them with their game plan and doing what they want to do, playing disciplined football, and hopefully winning this game.
A Rolling Stones shout out right there. You got to love that. Mikey, this is going to be the last segment. It's the one everyone's waiting for. We're bringing it back. We're not going to bring back guarantees this week, because my guarantee was wrong a week ago. So we're going to do the old reliable picks to click. You're back in action tonight. I pick you to click. I think you're going to go off, Mikey, but tell me one guy on offense that you think is going to have a great game here tonight?
I'm going to be looking for number 5, Keller Holmes. I think we saw last week a lot of two-back sets worked really well. I think Coach Allen will be using that a lot tonight, and I think we'll get to see Keller get a good amount of carries, even work into the passing game a little bit, and I expect him to have a really good game tonight.
I agree, and I think I would say all the receivers. I honestly think the receivers are going to have a great bounce-back game. I think the timing is going to be really good. When they play man-to-man, I think Highland Park's going to want to throw it deep if they have those opportunities, so I'm excited to see it. But I'm going to go with Wilson Axley, the running back on the other side, the captain. He has shown some burst this season. He's had these awesome glimpses where what he can do in space, especially making a guy miss, is just incredible. And so I think tonight, I think we can really see him take over. And then if they do play with those 2 split safeties, I totally expect to see him send him up the middle and attack. It's one of my favorite plays that Highland Park does. And so we'll see. That's what I'm thinking offensively. Mikey, who do you think is going to go up defensively tonight?
Defensively, we've talked about this in the 3-4 defense before, but it all starts with the nose guard. So tonight I'm going with Cormac Carroll. I think Cormac's going to have to step up tonight and just have a really good game, which he's fully capable of doing. I expect him to do that tonight. And so I think Cormac can kind of set the tone for that defense, getting back to basics, playing fundamental football and stopping the run and helping this Highland Park team win this game.
Love that pick. This may be kind of cheating, but I'm going to go with inside backer Jack Morse. Just gets a ton of tackles. Reason why, though, is I think after you have kind of a tough game defensively, you got to see your leaders and some of your best players come out and set the tone. And so I want to see Jack Morse tonight, especially. We think they like to run the football up the middle a little bit, some more inside runs. And so I want to see Jack Morse tonight. I think he's going to have a great game. He's a turnover machine, and so he can cause a ton of turnovers. So I think Jack Morse is going to have a big game. Mike, give us one closing thought before we toss it up here.
I'm excited to see Scots back at Highlander tonight. I think when you go on the road and you lose a tough game away, it's always great to come back to the friendly confines of Highlander Stadium. So I expect the Scots to feed off this home crowd tonight and play really well and get a victory.
So that'll do it here for us at the JSX pregame show. Will Washington here with Mikey Lamar. We'll be back at halftime. Mikey, clear eyes, full hearts.
Can't lose.
We're going to toss it up to the booth. It's the Highland Park Scots and the Irving Tigers coming up next, presented by Game On Sports.
At Patmos Capital Partners, our focus is on one thing: serving people. Our team is hardworking, humble, and ready to serve our residents and wisely steward our investors' capital. Our firm is focused on buying real assets that appreciate over time. We buy in growing communities with a high amount of job growth and in-migration. With a deep network of broker relationships, we pride ourselves in offering our investors off-market opportunities with attractive, risk-adjusted returns. We add value by employing best-in-class management teams who are dedicated to creating a thriving community by putting its residents first. Our in-house construction teams operate with a high level of detail, speed, and efficiency, and improve our interiors and exteriors with a unique focus on design and new amenities. This allows us to increase revenue and decrease expenses, boosting our bottom line and maximizing our property values. We serve our investors with quarterly distributions, attractive tax advantages, and a hedge against inflation. Interested? Visit patmoscp.com today.
Imagine there's a better way to fly. That's anything but ordinary. Where crowds are a thing of the past, and your schedule stays your own. Where stress will vanish before your eyes. Because with us, your flight is a joyful part of your journey. We take you where you want to go, with all the things you value most. So whoever you are, or whatever the reason, we're so glad you decided to depart from the ordinary.
Curtis Law, the game-winning lawyer.
I'm a link in the chain. I am a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I'm 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 a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I am a link in the chain.
I'm a link in the chain.
I'm a link in the chain. I'm a link in the chain.
I'm a link in the chain.
When you play one of us, you play all of us.
Well, we're back in the friendly confines of Highlander Stadium tonight for week 2 of district football. The Scots 2-1 on the season, looking to rebound from last week's loss as they host the Irving Tigers. We're just minutes away from kickoff of tonight's game.
Yeah, I'm a monster. I'm a great world wonder. I'm about that action. You don't want no drama. Renegade, you've been a slave, I've been free. Those strongholds can't lock me. They'll remember me forever like a memory.
And here we go.
I'm a monster. Are you ready for it now? Ain't nowhere you can run. It's about to go down. I'm a monster. Are you ready for it now? Ain't nowhere you can run. It's about to go down. Are you ready for me now?
There you go, your Highland Park Scots on their march into the stadium here at Highlander. It was a humbling loss to Lake Highlands last week. Scots look to right the ship tonight. They come in with a 2-1 season record, 0-1 in district play. The opponent tonight, the Irving Tigers, 0-2 and playing their first district game. Tigers have lost to Pascal and to South Garland. Along with Jim Castello, I'm Russell Scott. Welcome into Highlander, where first-year Irving coach Brent Nickerson still looking for his first head coaching win, but it won't be easy after losing to Lake Highlands last week. You know the Scots are going to be loaded for Bear, or should I say loaded for Tigers tonight.
For Tiger, right. Well, they were, from what I understood from talking to most of the players during this week, hey, they were ready to go Saturday afternoon after the game. They were ready to go Sunday. The players were so upset by how things turned out last week that they organized a players-only practice over the weekend. How often does that happen? They practice hard all week. They decided to come out, talk about it, try to work on some kinks, get them out, and be ready to go. And again, every young man I talked to said they can't wait for this game and to right the ship and show people really what they're made of.
It was such a strange loss. The game was pushed back to 7:30 because of heat considerations. Then thunder and lightning moves into the area in the evening, and we get the game postponed, and eventually it's held off until Saturday afternoon. And so not only do you go home down in the game, the Scots have to get back up, have to come all the way back over to Wildcat Stadium and play the final 8 minutes of the game. It took about 30 minutes to play that final 8 minutes. Scots come up short 51-41. What was your sense of the coaching staff coming into this week? And also, you kind of talked a little bit about the players, but what have they told you about this week as well?
Well, they said that this is the best week of practice they've ever had. I mean, there's been tremendous focus on correcting the mistakes, and there were some glaring mistakes. The Coach Leidner, the defensive coordinator, mentioned how the fits weren't there, meaning people were not getting to their gaps and playing their gaps like they should have been. They were saying, hey, I'm going to try to do somebody else's job, and when you do that, it messes everything up. I know that Coach Allen had mentioned to me, he goes, it was the perfect storm. Our guys weren't ready. as far as the Scots weren't ready, but on the other hand, Lake Highlands, it was the biggest game of the year, and they started off hot. A bomb for a touchdown on the first play from scrimmage, and from then on, Highland Park's playing catch-up. The coaches have always talked about how important it is to get off to a fast start, and what's implied in that is not let the other team get off that fast start instead. But I think you'll see a team tonight that is more than ready to play. They want to definitely right the ship and show people what they're made of.
Let's go down to the sideline, visit with Jay Ellis, who will be patrolling the sidelines throughout the night tonight. And Jay, just your thoughts on this team getting ready for this game after going through that loss last week.
The last district loss they had, I think, was to
Correct.
Wiley East, and they went on to win 6 games in a row and the first of 3 state championships. So it was no fun. It felt like we lost twice. We lost on Friday night. We had to come back Saturday and lose again, although Highland Park played well on Saturday and played well in the second half on Friday as well. But the best thing is, these guys aren't going to take anything for granted. And sometimes you start to think you're really good because people tell you you're good, and they are. But you're better when you have, that sort of passion and the realization that you have to execute. It's not just going to happen for you. And these guys will not have that happen again. And I think when we look back on the season down the road, we'll say, as painful as it was last Friday, it's probably a good thing for the course of the entire season that these guys sort of had a wake-up call.
Well, you see the Scots coming into the stadium right there, and now they're getting, some final instructions from head coach Randy Allen as he talks to them. We'll have the coin toss coming up here in a moment. Real quickly, give me your overview of Irving and what the Tigers present tonight.
Well, Irving is a team that's struggling. They've lost their first 2 games, but they've got some key pieces in place that could make them, dangerous if the Scots don't bounce back and again start to get back to basics. The offensive line is huge. You're going to see a different offense than you're used to seeing. They'll get in the shotgun a little bit, but a lot of it is under center, eye backfield, offset eye, and just pound the ball. They want to run the ball. They've got some good, fast receivers that can go the distance if you let them in the open. But really, again, what they want to do is run the ball, and you'll see when you see their offensive line tonight why that's the case. And again, how many teams do we have seen in the last 5 or 6 years still running the eye type backfield or offset eye? Not many. So it's going to be a different defensive scheme than what the Scots are going to have to do tonight.
And interestingly enough, one of the guys you talked about with a lot of speed is a freshman that is 5'8", 150-pound freshman, Napoleon Proctor. 29 is the number he'll wear tonight. Keep an eye on him. Let's go down to the coin toss right here. Drew Pearson
and Rowdy are here tonight.
Honorary coin toss for us tonight.
Captains for the Irving Tigers, number 1, David Perez Diaz.
Dallas Cowboy.
Number 7, Victor Cantarico. Number 70, Deanthus Upshaw. And number 76, Reuben Smith. Captains for the Scots, number 2, Wilson Axley. Number 76, Case Pickelman. Number 12, Warren Peck. Number 97, Henry Richter. And number 3, Wes Higese.
All right, Scots will play offense first. Our weather tonight, well, compared to what we've had the last few weeks, it's really nice out there tonight. Our weather update brought to you by Advantage Healthcare Systems, and 78 degrees at kickoff tonight. We're expecting to be maybe in the low 70s, upper 60s throughout the night tonight. Not much of a wind and very little chance of any rain tonight, and probably no lightning tonight. So we don't have to worry so much about the delay that we ran into. I guess right now we should get our Castelaw's keys to a Highland Park win and what we think Coach Castelaw has come up with.
Well, one of the first things, I know that the offense was not happy with the pass protection. The Lake Highlands Wildcats ran some blitzes that were difficult to pick up. I know that we got to shore up that offensive line protection. One of the reasons Warren Peck ran for 200 yards was not design runs, but it was scrambles where he made big, long runs. Thankfully, he was able to do that. But the pass protection, I know, is going to be a focus tonight. In addition, get back to basics, the little things, your first step. How low you are, get to your gap, stay in your gap, and then finally attack and swarm. If you're on on the offensive side of the ball, come at Irving. We'll stop right now for the national anthem and get back to it in just a second.
Finish your thoughts now?
Yeah, and to finish that thought, third, attack and swarm. If you're on the offensive side of the ball, you got to get off to a fast start. Come at Irving with all you've got. I think today you will see the defense swarming around like you've never seen them before. They really had their pride hurt last week with how Lake Highlands was able to run the ball, and they are determined to a man to not let that happen again.
Well, the Tiger defense allowing 26 points per game. The Highland Park offense averaging 427 yards per game. They're averaging 243 on the ground, 184 through the air. And Highland Park going to try to get out to a quick start tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup for the Highland Park Scots on offense. They've got that nice offensive line, and you've had really nice play from Stewart Allday, that 6'5", 265-pound sophomore who'll start at left tackle. Grayson Davenport, 280-pound tackle over on the right side. He's a junior. Then in the middle, Ogle, Swanner, and Clark. And then the wide receivers have really been talented. We've seen them come through time and time again. Charlie Snyder, Steele Tobin, Paxton Smith, and Bryce Liskowski. And then, of course, in the backfield, Wilson Axley and Keller Holmes will split time at running back. And you just mentioned Warren Peck a minute ago. 201 yards rushing last week. We were trying to figure out if a Highland Park quarterback has had 200 yards rushing in the last, I know it hadn't been the last 18 years. But
no, really since Coach Allen has been here, I highly question whether that's taken place at all, because obviously you don't want a quarterback. You want your quarterback throwing the ball, not running that much. But maybe when prior to Coach Allen, when the Scots ran the veer, possibly at that point.
Our starting lineups tonight brought to you by the good folks at Golf's Hamburgers. Well, we got the ball teed up, and it looks like Steele Tobin's going to be deep to do the return chores for Highland Park.
Watch the bunch set. No, they break out of it now. A lot of teams will bunch like that and then attack the ball, try to catch you napping.
Caleb Centro will do the kicking chores for the Tigers tonight as they go into kind of an interesting kickoff formation. They've got two bunch sets on either side.
They do that, Russell, so you, as the return team, you can't count off who did, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got number 5 man. By doing this, when they break out of this bunch set, it's going to be difficult. Delay of game, I've never seen that on a kickoff before.
Don't think I have either.
But we're going to back Irving up for delay of game, taking too long. But anyway, that's why that teams do this bunch set, because it makes it difficult to count off who to block from the sideline to the ball.
And again, it's going to be Brian Rapp and Cooper Schindel to either side. But the deep back is Steele Tobin.
Whoa.
It's going to be an onside kick try, and they got it. Irving has covered it. And Irving will have the football at their own 40, right around the 45-yard line. And that's Napoleon Proctor who came up with the football. He's the freshman. He's the speedster who will play wide receiver. You'll also see him play some safety tonight.
And that was an excellent onside kick. Kicker did not kick it hard, just hit the top of the ball, took one bounce, then a high bounce. Again, it was the difficulty was the coverage team was getting to the 45-yard line right at the same time as the ball, and made it difficult on the Highland Park front line to make the recovery.
Xavier Ibarra is the quarterback, and again, he'll work under center much of the time tonight for the Tigers. In the backfield, Adriel Pena, number 2. Watch him. He's a speedster. He's not a big guy, only 5'5", 160. But they will put a tight end behind the quarterback, and he'll try to clear the hole for the running back. Here's the handoff. Pena is going to go over right side. He'll pick up just a couple. Josh Allen steps in there and makes the stop. John Allen, I'm sorry. steps in there to make the tackle.
There's that I backfield that we talked about with the ISO and the lead. It's going to be old school football every time Irving lines up in that. Keep an eye on the left tackle, number 70, Danthius Upshaw. Got great form, going to be a great player down the road.
Here we go, option or a counter play inside. There's not going to be any running room this time, and the Tigers will have 3rd down and long here on the next series. And again, the give was right up the middle to Pena, and that's Cormac Carroll clogged things up in the middle and made the stop.
And Russell, number 90 is Jonah Chawan. He's starting at defensive end for Daniel Turner tonight. Daniel could have played, but the coaches said we're going to give you a night off and let you heal completely so you're ready to go for the Jesuit game. Chawan taking Turner's place.
Defenses are converting on a rate of 43% against Highland Park's defense. They're not going to convert this time. That's going to be a loss of 1 on the play, and the defense just got in there and said, not this time. Cormac Carroll gets credit for initial contact and the punting situation, and actually came into the game. And then he ran off, and now they're going to send him back in to do the return chores for Highland Park, as after the onside kick, Tigers unable to do anything with the football, and 3 and out. They'll punt it away. Caleb Centro comes on to kick the ball.
Looks like Irving may be in a mode of we're going to try everything we can. Almost gets blocked by the Scots coverage team.
Here's Axley from the 20-yard line.
Here we go.
Brings it out 25.
Here we
30.
go.
He's outside the numbers. He's got speed. Stepped out of bounds. No, he did not. He's going to go all the way up the left sideline. There are flags back around the 45-yard line. It looked as if he stepped out of bounds, but I think the officials let him go. If it stands, it'll be an 80-yard touchdown return for Wilson Axley.
Great wall set up by the Scots on the return to the left side to their bench, but 2 flags are probably going to bring this back. Looks like maybe a block in the back, but I'm like you, Russell. It looked like we were close to stepping out, but the flags are going to negate it one way or another.
Block in the back, return team, number 38.
I don't know if you can hear the referee tonight, but it was a block in the back against Highland Park. So the penalty will negate the touchdown.
Well, Axley turns on the Jets coming down the field, and then we did see the block in the back that was called right about the 50.
The softest block in the history of football.
Yep.
Well, Highland Park's going to bring their offense out on the field for the first time. Highland Park on a 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line.
And finally, Scott's expected to be out there a little before now. But Irving runs a 3-4 look defense. You're going to see a nose guard, big
Jesus Juarez.
Jesus Juarez at nose guard, four-man linebacking core.
Here's Warren Peck. He's going to turn, hand it off. Axley will go over right guard.
Actually, the ball.
He'll pick up 1 yard.
Empty turbo.
Number 18, Palacios on the tackle.
Here we go. Peck this time to throw. Looks left side. Tried to get it out there to Axley, who's done a pretty good job this season of catching out of the backfield. This time it's going to be an incomplete pass. Cage Williams defending on the play. And 3rd down coming now for Highland Park. Scots have 9 yards to pick up if they want to continue here. There's an little screen pass out right side. Here goes Tobin, and he's got running room. Tobin's going to go the distance. He goes from right to left, outside the numbers, up the left sideline, and Steele Tobin has scored a touchdown for Highland Park. 56 yards after the catch.
Well, Tobin is dangerous every time he touches the ball. He takes what ought to be just a short little gain for the Scots, comes back across the field, and is able to sprint down the left sideline for a touchdown. And anytime you've got a receiver who can do that, again, we talked about last week's quarterbacks love them because your stats just go through the roof.
Touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, and the extra point for Brett Kennedy and Peter McGuire with Kensington Vanguard National title. And it is good. And Highland Park jumps out to a 7-0 lead as they score on their first offensive possession of the game.
Let's look at this replay if we can get it up right now. Here we go. Just a short little jailbreak screen. Tobin on the left side, on the right side, breaks all the way to the left. Gets some good blocking out in front right there. Was that Charlie Snyder trying to help out, trying to make sure he did not block in the back. And I tell you what, if you're not even with Steele Tobin when he starts, you're going to lose that race.
Our first quarter replays tonight being brought to you by Origin Bank, providing trusted legal counsel and advice since 1917. Let's check in along the sideline with Jay Ellis. His sideline reports are brought to you by Macero, Mexican Spirit, American Life.
Hey, Russell and Jim, I really like what Highland Park did with that set. They had their two-back set in for the entire possession, but they gave three different looks. They started out with two backs in the backfield. They rushed sort of their turbo look to an empty set, and then on third down, they went one back. And that versatility, we've known all along that Wilson Axley can play in the slot or at running back, but we saw Keller Holmes lining up in the slot two of those three plays as well, and it's tough to defend if you don't know what sort of personnel you've got to come up against, and that's another advantage that Coach Allen is securing for Highland Park.
David Diaz will field it from the 3-yard line on the kickoff, and he'll bring it out across the 10 near the 13-yard line. Our kickoff brought to you by Davidson Bogle Real Estate, and not the great field position that they had their first series. The Tigers this time are going to start right around their own 13-yard line.
Russell, here's that scoring drive for the Scots. They go 57 yards in 3 plays, take a minute 2 off the clock. The touchdown, a 56-yard screen pass that Steele Tobin takes to the house. Regas adds the extra point, and with 9:38 to go in the first quarter, it's Highland Park 7, Irving Tigers nothing.
Tigers offensively averaging only 154 yards in their first 2 games of the season. They get most of that on the ground. 105 yards, only 49 yards per game passing through their first 2 games of the season. Remember, they had a bye last week, so they didn't play a district game. Snap is high, and the quarterback grabs it, and Ibarra is going to be dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. That was Anders Korn who came through there and grabbed him. I'm sorry, it was Henry Richter who came through there and grabbed him and slung him to the turf, and that's going to be a huge loss for the Tigers.
And Russell, in the previous 2 games, Irving's had all kinds of trouble with snaps being high, to the right, to the left. And again, it's one of those things that nobody thinks about until you got a problem, and Irving's got a problem with it. Quarterbacks never knows where the ball is. By the way, that drive recap brought to you by Odelay Tex-Mex.
Here we go. Handoff comes near side to Pena. And he'll get across the 7, maybe to the 8. Highland Park's defense, though, all over him. Among the first in there for the Scots is Wesley Winfield. Cormac Carroll also in on the tackle as well.
Cormac Carroll, ever since that Louisville game, he's done a great job of really holding his ground and not succumbing to the double team. He finds a way to fight through it and help on that play right there.
Omar Castro is in at a fullback position now for the Tigers. That, by the way, was his first carry of the season. Here we go. First throw of the night for the quarterback. Ibarra's in trouble. Almost brought down in the end zone. He runs with it, but he won't get far. Dragged down at the 9-yard line by Carroll, who grabbed him by the jersey.
Now Cormac Carroll fighting through it. It looked like Scots were going to come up with a safety right there. Ibarra in the end zone shows his elusiveness right here. You can see him scramble around. Richter almost has him. Korn almost has him. And then finally, Cormac Carroll finishes him off.
Boy, that's going to bring up 4th down and long and a punting situation. Second time tonight. Now remember, Highland Park nearly blocked the first punt. See what happens here. Wilson Axley is back to do the return chores. Wobbler, they blow a whistle, and we had a penalty flag thrown. I would anticipate this is going to be a false start.
It's going to back Irving up. And if you're a struggling football team, the worst place you can be is where Irving is right now, because it looks like a mile and a half down the field to make something happen, and field position tonight is going to be critical for both teams.
Second penalty of the night against the Tigers. Both have happened on specialty teams. The first one, delay of game on the opening kickoff. Now on a punting situation.
Let's see if Giese can get there. Oh!
Nearly blocked. This time actually is going to have great field position from the 33-yard line. Brings it up across the 25. He'll get down to the 19-yard line before he's going to be wrangled to the turf. How about Highland Park's starting field position tonight? They're going to start in the Shelby American red zone.
Yeah, and when you can do that after a punt, that's great, obviously. But again, Irving, you don't want, if you're the Irving side of the field, you don't want to see that because, again, you give the Scots a 20-yard field, and they're going to score 99% of the time usually.
Well, they've been in the red zone 18 times this year. They've scored touchdowns on they've been in 12 times. They've scored 10 touchdowns out of the red zone this year. Handoff goes to Keller Holmes, and he'll grind his way forward for 6 yards. Down inside the 15-yard line. Second down and 4 now.
Just a great blocking up out in front by Gage Clark, the right guard for the Scots.
Here we go. This time Peck to throw into the end zone, trying to get that back shoulder to the far right side. I believe that was Charlie Schneider. No, excuse me, it was Lyskowski. And it's going to be an incomplete pass, third down.
Well, again, Scott's got a lot of weapons out there. I know the offensive line, the guys I talked to Will Ogle, got him in an interview. You'll hear his interview at halftime, and he was saying, hey, the offensive line, they want to go out and pound the ball. They want to run it right down Irving's throat.
Highland Park 1 for 1 tonight. They're converting at a rate of 62%. They'll convert this one, and in fact, they'll convert it into a touchdown. Warren Peck takes it in for the score. 14-yard touchdown run for Warren Peck, and that touchdown for Bob Lilly Promotions, proudly supporting the Scots since 1999.
Warren Peck really becoming a weapon for the Scots on offense. He's such a big young man, hard to bring down, but when he runs that option look, especially he's got somebody out in front right there like Axley and Schneider blocking for him, he is tough to bring down at all. And Warren Peck, again, showing the effects of losing all that weight this summer.
Kensington Vanguard national title brings you the extra point. It is up and on the way, and Regas splits the uprights, and the Scots extend their lead out 14-0 with 6:43 to play here in the first quarter. There's another look at it. Watch him put his foot in the ground and turn the corner. How about Warren Peck?
Yep. Warren Peck and Axley and Schneider.
His 9th rushing touchdown this season. And Highland Park, 2-touchdown lead on the Tigers.
All right. Coming into the stadium tonight, bringing some equipment up. This was not one tonight. It's 3:30 this afternoon. Warren Peck walking in, and you in my head I say I know how big he is, but you walk by him, looks like an NFL quarterback. I mean, he's a big young man. And the Scots are really reaping the benefits. Here's that scoring drive. Again, just 20 yards this time. Scots don't have to go far. They go 20 yards in 3 plays. Take 33 seconds off the clock. Touchdown. 14-yard scamper off the left side by Warren Peck. Regas has the extra point. And with 6:45 to go in the first quarter, it's Highland Park 14, Irving nothing.
On the return, watch 29. That's the freshman, Napoleon Proctor. Should he get a hold of it, he's got some speed. He'll have an opportunity right here. Proctor from the 3. He'll bring it out to the 10, 15. Goes all the way across the field and then gets bludgeoned at about the 21-yard line. Coming through for Highland Park to make that stop.
Brady Ray. Bludgeon's a good way to put that on coverage teams. I like that. By the way, Russell, that drive recap again brought to us by Odelay Tex-Mex. Excellence born in HP for HP.
Let's take a look at this Highland Park defense. Again, up on that front line, you've got Richter and Carroll, and Josh Chawan is starting in there for Daniel Turner tonight. Winfield and Korn, the outside backers. Morse and Allen, the inside backers. Got a change in there as Owen Hillshine is in at nose guard right now for Highland Park. Boy, quarterback almost fell down as he tried to reverse out, wanted to throw it, and he just scrambles and will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Jay Ellis says he missed the handoff on that.
He either missed it or a lot of times that's a bootleg play out of that I backfield, but I think you're right. In that instance, he just stumbled and missed getting the handoff to his running back.
Our replay is brought to you by Origin Bank, providing trusted legal counsel and advice since 1917.
Football's back towards the
penalty on the play.
He didn't signal a penalty, though.
Well, they're going to bunch trip receivers out to the left side. One running back, quarterback's going under center this time. Turns, hands it off, no place to go. That went up the middle and went absolutely nowhere because Hank Lee stepped in there and just stopped him in his tracks. No gain, third down, 11.
Highland Park's going to be rolling in a lot of men up front. Again, Russell, you said Hillshire in at nose, but now he's leaving the game. Number 95 is coming in, and that's Clay Green at the nose. Over at the other side, we've got Chase Grimaud in at the defensive end where Daniel Turner normally is.
McCallum, Giese, McGinley, and Heinrich are in there for Highland Park in the secondary. They're trying to set up a screen right side.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going nowhere. Highland Park not fooled by that. Quarterback was hit just as he released it. And on the tackle is Wesley Winfield. And that's going to bring another fourth down situation. We get another look at it right here.
Good pressure by Chimad and Wesley Winfield along with sophomore inside backer Bo Jones delivering a punch right at the end.
Caleb Centro comes on to kick it away. His third punt of the night. Axley's going to stand at midfield. Ball spotted to the left hash mark. Axley will stand to that same side on the hash mark. High snap, pull down. Kick goes straight up. Axley from the 47-yard line. Trying to get outside the numbers left side, and he got tripped up. Couldn't get around the corner. That's Xavier Page who tripped him up. But Highland Park's still going to have great field position as they will start on the Tigers side of the 50.
Well, they started at the 20 last time. That's tonight. Right now they're starting at the 32. Those are short fields for Coach Allen and the Scots.
Parker Thompson has come in for Highland Park at the X receiver. That's the far right-hand side
and
for
Russell,
the wide receivers.
Hill Greenlee is coming at right tackle for the Scots, number 75.
Play action. Scots will throw it into the end zone. Touchdown. Highland Park gets the touchdown. That's Parker Thompson. His first catch of the season, and it's a 32-yard touchdown catch.
Well, it's good to see Parker Thompson out there using that athletic ability. Come across the inside, runs a post route. Warren Peck throws a great ball. Gets it up high where Thompson can go up and get it. We'll see the replay in just a minute.
Touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, and our extra point now is going to be brought to you by Kensington Vanguard National Title. Here we go. Nick Regas puts a foot into it, and it is good. And how about Parker Thompson? He's had a passing touchdown this year and now a receiving touchdown.
Good movement by Warren Peck to get open, and Parker Thompson gets in the end zone. Great job.
Let me correct that. He had a rushing touchdown and now a receiving touchdown. We've got Pat Sauer joins us. Let's take it down to the sideline. His report's brought to you by Macero.
Hey guys, I've got the Bells lieutenants here. Introduce yourself real quick.
Hi, I'm Sophie Bishop. Ellie Donahoe. Alexandra Wright. Mary Matheson. Addison Renfro.
Okay guys, what is the key to winning this game? Look at the camera there.
I think our key is that our team always comes back the second half, and we have a saying, Scotties find a way, and there's something special about Highlander that just always helps us win.
You bet it has, but we look at the scoreboard. How's Scots doing tonight?
They're doing really good tonight.
They always find a way. I know they've been working super hard all week and all season, and they've been doing great.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
21-0 Highland Park leads. Our kickoff brought to you by Davidson Bogle Real Estate. Land is their business. Proctor now from the 4-yard line. He'll bring it out to the 10, 15, and somebody will make an ankle tackle right around the 18-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will try to get their offense on track.
Russell, I think that was Brant Williams coming down with the shoestring tackle, getting a hand out there and bringing down Proctor.
That drive for Highland Park only took one play, went 32 yards, and the catch by Parker Thompson. And that recap is brought to you by
Odelay Tex-Mex. Excellence born in HP for HP.
I couldn't see the other number on there. Oh, it was how long did it take?
It took a grand total of 7 seconds.
That was a James Bond drive.
Okay, Scott's alter their defense a little bit. Slide to the right side tight end.
Tigers have a man in motion. They'll turn, hand it off. Pena up the middle, no place to go. He's going to be swatted down and, in fact, driven all the way back to the 15-yard line. This is going to be a 6-yard loss.
Yeah, that's number, Russell, that was number, they lost the ball. I think the 5-yard loss because the running back lost the ball and the big offensive lineman or tight end fell on it.
It was David Diaz who fumbled the football right there. Tigers have only had 2 turnovers this year. They fumbled and they've had 3 turnovers. They fumbled twice and threw an interception. That's fumbles that they lost.
Scott's moving to the Matador package. Clay Green.
Man in motion, turn, handed off. And again, there's just no place for the Tigers to run.
Scots are hitting the lead backs in the backfield, which is great if you can do it, but it's a killer if you're trying to run the I offense and your back's getting hit in the backfield, and it's a train wreck.
Loss of 1 on the play brings up 3rd down and long. 16 needed for a first down. Tigers have to get it out to their own 31-yard line to extend the drive. They have yet to get a first down tonight. They are in negative total yardage for the game so far.
Irving got a tackle over set, unbalanced to the offensive right. That's why the Scots have slid their defensive front.
They're showing to go for it on 3rd and long, and they're not going to get much out of that. Pass is made, but there's just no place for Proctor to go. Cormac Carroll makes the tackle, and it just didn't go any place. He tried to cut it back inside, hoping to get some blocking in there, and Highland Park didn't give him an opportunity. So again, a punting situation, and likely the Scots will have great field position after this.
Cormac Carroll limping off the field. Let's hope he's not got anything serious. Scott's got a receiver. Irving's got a receiver to the left. It was uncovered. Scott see it now and cover it up.
Caleb Centro to punt it away. He'll step into it, high end over end. Axley from his own 48-yard line. He's got some wall in front of him. We have a flag thrown. Tried to stiff arm a tackler. It's not going to get away from him. They'll drag him down inside the 30, inside the 25, down near the 23-yard line. But we do have a flag. Omar Gendara in on the tackle. And let's see what this is going to be. We have an illegal block in there. I believe Pat Sauer has found another couple of people to visit with, and Pat's report's brought to you by Macero. Pat?
Hey guys, I've got the 2013 state semifinalist deep snapper and holder, Powell Snelling. Powell, what are the keys to the Scots win tonight?
Oh, continue getting these 3 and outs, Pat. This defense is looking great. We're not giving them any chances to get a first down. Just don't give up.
All right. Scotty's always
find a way.
There you go. That's the theme for the night.
Still trying to figure out what the penalty flag was. The officials are gathered out on the field talking about it right now. That'll give me just a moment to tell you about the other games that are going on in 7-6A tonight. We've got Richardson playing Nimitz tonight. MacArthur has the night off. Bergner beat up on Pierce last night. Not beat up, but they defeated Pierce last night, 35-28.
It might have been a beat up.
35-28. It's not too much of a beat up. The one we're going to be watching closely and trying to update you on tonight, Lake Highland's playing over at Jesuit tonight. And for Highland Park, it would be more beneficial Jesuit to beat Highland Park than that, or to beat Lake Highlands, and that would put things in a 3-way tie, or actually about a 4-way tie for first place in the district. Jay, you said you have an update on that score?
Wow. everybody. And Russell, the official, his mic was not active. We were trying to see what that call was. Did you see a signal? It was illegal to use your hands of holding against the Scots because
and so they marked that from where he fielded the football.
It was from where the foul occurred, and so if it's way back, way farther than you think.
Highland Park's going to take the football, trying to throw it. Warren Peck's going to get caught behind the line of scrimmage. Christopher Alvarez got him around the ankles, and that's going to be the first sack of the night for this defense for the Tigers.
First time that Warren Peck has really had to move a lot in the pocket. Again, offensive line without Captain Case Pickleman, still be out another, hopefully be back for Jesuit.
4 wide receivers in the pattern this time for Peck. He looks right, pumps, throws right. Oh. It's going to be incomplete. Boy, just couldn't quite hold on to it. Laskowski looked like he was trying to decide which way he was going to go after he made the catch. And it's a long incompletion, and third and extra long for the Scots here.
And that's one of those things, Russell, that people don't until you do it, you don't. When your back's turned to the defense and you're waiting on the ball and you know somebody's bearing down on you, it's tough to keep your composure.
Scots are 2 for 2 on third down conversions tonight. Peck sets in the pocket, throws left, has the receiver wide open. There's Tobin, made the catch inside Tiger territory. He's finally going to be shoved out of bounds right near the 36-yard line. They're going to say officially it's going to be the 38-yard line.
Great protection up front right there. Stuart Alday riding his man out. There's Steele Tobin catching the ball right on the sideline. Ends up a 30-yard gain after he's bulldogged to the ground by the Tiger defender.
Tobin's got 2 catches for 86 yards tonight. He's gone over 100 yards receiving in 1 game already this year. Peck's going to run with it. Kept it around the right side. Has a first down. And more.
Here we go.
Peck's going to take it into the end zone.
Wow.
How do you like that? A 38-yard touchdown run for Warren Peck.
Well, he continues to be a threat on the ground. And when you can throw like Warren Peck and run like that now, Scott's got a salty weapon.
Touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions. They've been supporting the Scots since 1999. Kensington Vanguard national title with the extra point. Regas has it teed up. Trying to make this a 28-0 lead, and he is successful with that. And the Scots, with 47 seconds left in the first quarter, up 28-0. There you get a look at the Origin Bank replay.
Look at that block downfield. I believe that was Laskowski, if I'm not mistaken. Got a great pancake block and allows Peck to get to the end zone.
Well, Warren Peck has done a nice job, as you said, running the football. Last week he went over 200 yards rushing, and tonight he's already got 2 touchdown rushes. 47 yards total rushing for Warren Peck. And he's thrown for 118 yards in the first quarter.
Here's that scoring drive. Russell. Scots go 63 yards in only 4 plays. Take 2:21 off the clock. The touchdown, that 38-yard scamper again by Warren Peck. Number 2 for the night. Regas adds the extra point, and with 49 seconds to go in the first, or 47 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Scots 28, Irving nothing. This ride recap brought to you by Odelay Tex-Mex. Again, excellence, more than HP, 4 HP.
Nick Regas has it teed up. He'll kick from right to left. Virtually no wind here tonight. And it's not warm. It is a little bit humid out there on the field. Our kickoff for Davidson Bogle Real Estate.
It's better than 2 weeks ago.
Regas from the left hash mark. High end over end. This is going to be taken by Proctor from the 7-yard line. Proctor's going to bring it out to the 15, to the 20, found a seam. He'll get across the 30, out near the 33-yard line before he gets tackled. And coming through there on the tackle is Will Heinrich for Highland Park.
Great coverage that time by Will Heinrich. Looked like the Irving return man was going to have a lane over there on the defensive right side, but Heinrich shuts it down.
Holding the call against the kicking team. That's a 10-yard penalty. So instead of having relatively decent field position, this is going to push them all the way back just inside the 15-yard line.
And you wonder why teams, continually struggle. Just look at the starting field position that Irving has had tonight. I mean, it's just been horrible. Other than the onside kick that they did get around the 50, they've been backed up way back in their own zone.
First down for the Tigers. They'll stack their receivers off to the right, go with two in the backfield. H-back set off to the left side. Handoff going right up the middle. And this is going to be their biggest offensive play of the night, I believe, as it'll take them all the way out to the 23-yard line on the run. And Diaz on the carry. Among those in on the tackle for Highland Park, Carroll was in there.
Also, Russell Landon McMurray, number 42, a sophomore, who's in at the outside linebacker spot.
That is going to be an 8-yard gain, the longest play from scrimmage for the Tigers tonight. Now second down and short. They are still in negative yardage overall offensively.
Landon McMurray, again, number 42, in at the outside linebacker spot, normally manned by Wesley Winfield.
That's going to be the end of the first quarter of play, and it's been all Highland Park. Scots lead 28-0. We kick off the second quarter coming up here with the second and short for the Irving Tigers when we get back. Well, you see the activities on the field here at Highlander Stadium.
Team Mom Appreciation Award. Looks like a $500 check being from
Dave Campbell's
Texas Football.
How about that? There's
presented to Yo Quiero.
There's Drew Pearson in the picture as well.
That's why Rowdy's here. We've been trying to figure out why Dallas Cowboys Rowdy mascot has been here at Highlander, and obviously that was the reason.
He didn't go anywhere unless Drew Pearson's going to be there?
I guess. He follows Drew. Where's Drew Carr goes, he goes.
Well, we swapped ends of the field, and the Tigers now will move right to left here in the second quarter.
Jones and Morris at the inside linebackers. McMurray and Korn on the outside. Hillsheim at nose. Richter's in, along with Grimad.
Two in the backfield. They're going to hand it off, and their first down of the night is David Diaz. A little counter play takes it all the way out to the 33-yard line. They'll move the chains. For the Highland Park Scots, in on the tackle is Bo Jones.
Again, Bo's a sophomore linebacker. Right now, two sophomores in for the Scots at the linebacking spot.
They're going to send Diaz wide left this time. Proctor's going to go wide left as well. They'll set that H-back off to the right side. This is Pena in the backfield. And again, Ibarra, the quarterback's going under center. Turns, hands it off. Running play comes to the near side. There's not a lot there. 2 yards is all he will pick up. And Highland Park had a couple of different players in there on the tackle, but just not much running room. Morris was there. Jack, of course, one of the tacklers.
McMurray, the sophomore backer, in on the play as well. And one of the problems Irving's having is the running back is beating his lead blocker, Kevin Flores, to the hole. And that's an issue. If you're going to have a lead blocker, if you're going to waste somebody right there on that lead block, there you can see as Flores lines up as a tight end now on the left. You got to let him do his job and follow him.
2nd and 9, Highland Park brings their outside backers up. Here's
boy.
a handoff coming to the near side. Trying to turn around and go the other way, and he could not get away. Could not get away because Landon McMurray was right there to grab him and drag him down for a loss on the play.
Right there, 98. Hilsheim's the nose guard for the Scots is getting held. Owen Hilsheim would have been there as well if he hadn't gotten held.
Let me give you the offensive numbers through 1 quarter of play. Highland Park had 172 yards of total offense. Through 1 quarter of play, the Tigers had a -1.
Wow. If you're looking at this picture right now, look at the size of Irving's offensive line. They ought to be able to run the ball better than they are. They're huge young men.
They go 260, 250, 265, 260, and at right tackle, that's 6'5", 330-pound Reuben Smith.
He's a large young man.
3rd down and very long yardage this time. They'll move Diaz in motion into the backfield. Now we've got a timeout. It's going to be taken by the Tigers. First timeout of the game. And from what you've seen so far, kind of easy to say the Scots have bounced back from last week's loss.
Yeah, they bounced back, but I know in their heart of hearts they wish they had some better competition today to prove that against, because I know they're going to say, well, yeah, we did it, but Irving's 0-2 and they're struggling. So they're probably already looking down the road to another opponent who can provide a little more challenge. It's just you hate to see teams like Irving because you just want, I wonder as an old coach, gosh, how do you get them up to come to practice every day and work hard? Just tough.
Well, you talked about their coach. Brent Nickerson took over the coaching duties this year. It's his first head coaching job. He had been an assistant head coach at Flower Mound for the last 3 years, had been a defensive coordinator at MacArthur, and in fact was a 05 graduate of Irving MacArthur. He played defensive back at Texas Tech before he went into coaching. Here's 3rd down and about 18 needed for a first.
Scott's going to bring the heat, it looks like. Let's see if they come. No, they back off.
2 wide receivers out to the right side. They'll look to the right, and that was almost picked off. Nearly intercepted. That was Wes
Giese, I think. May have fallen on the ball, or he's hobbling a little bit coming back to the middle of the field. It's going to bring up 4th down and long for Irving.
Looks like he's going to be okay. Giese will stay in. Oh, now we got a punting situation, so they will bring that punt coverage team in, but Giese stays in on the punt return team.
He puts the heat on from the defensive right side. Let's see if he's feeling well enough to get in there and possibly block this. Snaps have been erratic. We talked about it. They've been a little bit high and they float. So if you get a good jump, you might be able to block it.
Another timeout taken by the Tigers. Steele Tobin has come in to do the return chores for Highland Park. I believe that Pat Sauer is in the stands and has found somebody else to talk to.
In the student
Pat?
section?
Yeah, I've got the Highland Park Band drum major. Tell everybody your name.
Jake Wood.
Hey, Jake, what does the band do to support Highland Park football?
We play loud. We make the energy in the stands, and we give it to the rest of the students, and we just hope that we get to support the football team that way.
There you go. Hey, and you know, how in the world, well, we know how, but I want to hear from you, how many hours do you put in a week?
We get to put in just about 8 to 15 hours a week. We come every morning. We stay late, but it's a lot of fun, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
There you go. So the keys to winning the rest of our games are?
Play big, be loud, have fun.
There you go, guys. Back to you.
There you go. I like it. Like it a lot. Punting situation for the Tigers. Again, 4th down and long. It's going to be a high wobbler. Steele Tobin will field it at the 48, and he gets taken down almost immediately. We've got flags that are coming in after the tackle as well. Boy, he showed a little bravery right there to not call for a fair catch, just grab it in traffic.
Well, Steele is not bashful, and I think he thought, hey, Axley's had a couple of good returns. Let me give it a go. We got a flag down. Let's see what this turns out to be.
Looks like it's going to be against Highland Park. They will mark this against the Scots.
10-yard penalty, first down.
Moves it back to the 45-yard line.
Tobin did a good job of hanging on to that ball because he got hit right when he fielded it. Looks like Parker Thompson in the game again at the X receiver.
First down for Highland Park. Here we go, hand it off. Run right up the middle. Wilson actually split the defense. It's a foot race to the end zone. Nobody's going to catch him.
You ain't going to catch him today.
Axley on a 55-yard touchdown run, his second rushing touchdown of the season.
He put that Ferrari in third and then fourth gear, and Irving doesn't have anybody that's going to catch Wilson Axley when he breaks in the secondary like he does here.
Touchdown brought to you, of course, by Bob Lilly Promotions. And how about that? Highland Park trying to tack on another touchdown and extra point. And the extra points brought to you by Brett Kennedy and Peter McGuire over at Kensington Vanguard National Title. It's 2 one-play drives for the Highland Park Scots, and the PAT is GOOD.
Let's watch that replay right here. You're going to see some good blocking up front. Watch Gage Clark, watch Swanner swallow up the nose. Gage Clark and Ogle get up to the backers. And when you get big offensive linemen like the Scots have, and they cover up the defense, it's a field day for guys like Wilson Axley.
Our replay is this second quarter brought to you by HP Wealth Partners, real guidance for real people. How about the Highland Park Scots? They are putting it on Irving tonight. Irving came into the game. They're winless. They've only played 2 games. They had their district bye last week. They lost to Pascal to open the season 38-6. Then they lost to South Garland 14-10. And again, they were off last week.
Which is what you want if you're Irving. You know, you want an off week getting ready for a big game against Highland Park. But the Scots, you know, we talked about it as far as the keys to the game. Attack, 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 and that's what you've seen out of the Scots. You also seen that swarming defense. Here's that scoring drive. It wasn't a big, it's not going to be a long one. They go 55 yards in one play. Takes 19 seconds off the clock. The touchdown, 55-yard rush up the middle by Wilson Axley. Regas has the extra point, and with 9:46 to go in the half, Highland Park 35, Irving nothing.
Our Davidson Bogle real estate kickoff. Nick Regas puts a foot into it, and this is going to be fielded by Proctor at around the 3. He dropped it, picked it back up. He's to the 15, and will get swarmed right around the 21-yard line. Coming in to make the tackle for Highland Park is Will Signor.
Great coverage that time by the Highland Park Scots.
19 yards on the return, and I believe Pat has another guest. Are we going to you right now, Pat? You ready to go?
35-yard line. And had a punt return a little bit ago, but something happened. What happened there?
We got a block in the back.
There you go. Hey, he came back, took it to the house. How far was that run? This is Chris Axley, Wilson's dad. Got his mom on my left, but I haven't talked to his dad on the air. So, what is it like to be a captain at Highland Park? What does he have to put into this team?
I tell you, the moms do all the work. The dads just go to the dad's lunch and have a lot of fun, but we try and help where we can.
Hey, that is truth. That is truth. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Wesley Winfield in on the tackle for Highland Park after Adriel Pena picks up a couple. Second down now. Inside 10 minutes to play in the first half here at Highlander Stadium. Scots up 35-0.
We'll try to get an update shortly on that Jesuit Lake Highlands game, which has a big impact on the district race.
Trip receivers off to the left this time. Tigers taking their time, snapping the ball. Now they'll hand it off. This is going to be Pena. He'll get across the 25, 2-yard pickup, Jack Morris sitting in there makes the tackle. And last week, Jack Morris had 11 tackles. He's got 22 on the season to go along with a couple of sacks.
You know what?
Landon McMurray was in there on the stop as well for the Scots.
One of the problems the Scott defense was having last week was what the coaches call fits, meaning getting into your gap and staying in your gap until you're sure there's no threat. And Scots look like they have solved that problem as far as that goes tonight.
Tigers split 3 out on 3rd down and long. Quarterback wants to throw. Ibarra's in trouble. He's going to scramble out of it.
Whoa.
He'll pick up the first down as he got all the way out to the 32-yard line before he was tackled. Winfield is in there to help on the tackle. Jack Morris was there as well. And it'll be the second first down of the night for the Tigers.
And it comes by way of scramble, not the design of the play, but Ibarra just makes something out of nothing, able to pick up a key first down for Irving.
Scots play this game tonight, then they get a week off next week before they will play Jesuit in what likely will be a key game as far as the district standings go.
Yeah, and it's a rivalry game, obviously, too. There's no love lost between those two schools.
They're going to play that, by the way, at SMU. So, how about that? Shot through there like a cannon. Coming in to make the tackle is Jack Morris. And he just split through that offensive line and makes the stop back at the 29-yard line.
Well, you like to see that because that's Jack Morris exploding through the hole. Watch this right here. You see him. Offensive lineman blocks that. You just can't leave Jack Morris alone and say we're not going to block him because he'll make your life miserable.
Replays brought to you by HP Wealth Partners. Real guidance for real people. Second down, 14. This time stack 2 receivers off to the right. They'll go with an I formation as quarterback goes under center, turns and hands it off. Coming off left tackle, they'll scoot this one out near the 35-yard line. It's Adriel Pena, the 5'5", 160-pound senior who carried the ball.
Brady Ray coming in, Russell, to make the hit from his safety position. Nice tackle.
5-yard pickup leaves 3rd down and what are we going to call that? 8?
Yep, about 8. You see here Irving going to the shotgun look.
Tigers only 1 for 6 on 3rd downs tonight. Trying to convert this one. Quarterback's going to be swarmed and will be taken down. They'll blow the whistle before Highland Park can bring him down. Jack Steed is the guy who got him. Nearly shoved him down, but the
may have been wrong,
saved
Russell.
the quarterback's life.
That's my mistake, Russell. That was Richter. I saw it at 7 and thought it was Steed, but it was actually Richter, number 97.
Henry Richter getting the sack right there. 4th down and another punting situation. This will be the 6th punt of the game, and we still have 5:33 to play in the first half. Averaging 30 yards per kick. Steele Tobin on the return this time. Boy, Highland Park's got everybody coming on after this one.
Yep, he's going to feel he might have a shot.
Tobin's going to let this one bounce. Takes a Highland Park bounce, and it'll be down right around the 48-yard line of HP. Scott's offense about to come back out onto the field.
Great field position again. Not quite the 50 this time, but half the field is all the Scots can ask for.
Scots have not had a 4th down yet tonight, but should we get to 4th down at any point, our 4th downs are brought to you by Forshee Law. You know, we talked
That's
about
good
that.
We haven't had a 4th down.
It's good we had to not have that. Highland Park's going to stack their receivers, 2 left and 2 to the right. And they've got 1 running back in the backfield. That's Wilson Axley. Peck wants to throw, has time, got great protection. Throws near side. Charlie Schneider made it. He'll be escorted out of bounds right about the 41-yard line. I'm sorry, that's 19, not 18. Paxton Smith on the reception.
Those 8s and 9s, when a jersey rolls up, it's hard to tell the difference. Stack receivers again, pulling the safeties wide. Watch Axley down the middle of the field possibly.
Wyatt Swanner out over the football. He'll snap it back. They'll give it to Axley up the middle. It's kind of crowded in there. He'll tiptoe his way through for about 3 yards before he runs into a number of white jerseys.
Will Ogle with a pancake right there from his right guard position. Ends up on top of the defensive tackle and then helps him up. Great sportsmanship. I said from his right guard position, from his left guard position. But exactly what you want as an offensive lineman. Put that defender on his back.
Scott's now second down at about 7. Fake the handoff, throw it out far left side. This is going to be caught.
Rapp.
And it's Brian Rapp who made the catch. And Rapp's got a first down for Highland Park. Brian Rapp, his first catch tonight. I believe his first catch of the season.
You see how deep the running back room is for the Scots. This is Brian Rapp just out there on a little hitch route. Had one catch last week, but Parker Thompson, who's out there at the X receiver doing some great blocking out in front for Brian Rapp. Scots have Axley, they got Holmes, they got Rapp, they got Lancaster.
First down for Highland Park. They're going to hand it off. This is going to be Holmes getting around the left side. Holmes turns the corner, stepped out of one tackle. He'll get inside the 20, near the 19, and finally will be taken down. Clock will continue to roll, and we'll get an HP Wealth Partners look at that on the replay.
Here they come with a stretch play to the left. It's very similar to what Holmes broke for a 40-yard or so touchdown against Louisville that gave the Scots the margin of victory.
Scots again inside the 20-yard line. This is the Shelby American red zone. Play action fake. Pass comes near side. That's going to be caught and drugged all the way down to the 5-yard line. Nice play that time for Highland Park. That's Cannon Spackman who made the catch and fought forward to get that down to the 5.
You see a lot of young men got the ability to make things happen. Spackman showing what he's got right there.
Boy, once he caught it, he got hit and still picked up 4 yards after that. Here we go on 1st and goal to go. Keller Holmes grinds down to the 3. And 2nd down and goal to go.
We had a chance to interview Keller Holmes last week, and he talked about how small he was in middle school. I mean, he's a big running back now, but he said, I still remember what it felt like to be the littlest guy, one of the littlest guys on the team, and he said he credits that for his work ethic.
180 pounds is what he weighs in this year. Holmes again will take it off tackle. Boy, and he got hit hard, got his mouthpiece knocked out. He'll get slung down. It's going to be a loss of 1 for the Scots. And 3rd down and goal to go.
Again, we have still at Parker Thompson out at the X. Looks like Paxton Smith at the slot.
Scots take no time to think about it. Play action. They'll swing it out to Axley. He caught it. Touchdown. 5-yard pass completion, and Axley is in for the Scots. 6th touchdown of the night.
Wilson Axley is a tremendous weapon. Obviously running the ball, but even more, I think even more so coming out of the backfield. If you're a linebacker trying to cover him, you're fighting a losing battle.
Touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions and Kensington Vanguard National title brings you the extra point. Tobin to do the holding. Nick Regas ready to go. Snaps back, kicks up. It's a 42-0 game with 2:19 to play in the first half, and it has been all Highland Park. I believe Pat has found another parent in the stands.
Another victim?
Another victim. Let's put it that way. This is brought to you by Macero.
I found my next victim. I've got Anders Korn's mom, Stacy Korn. Hey, Stacy. He's pretty tough out there. He's having a great season. Is he that way at home? Is he pretty rough and tough around the house?
He's pretty even keel, but he has 2 younger brothers he likes to knock around sometimes, and we have to tell him to lay loose and get it out on the field. Yeah.
There you go. So he comes out here and takes it out on Friday nights.
For sure. Yeah.
Talk to us about the younger kids. We have some more linebackers coming up.
For sure, yes. They are definitely watching the Scotties, and they want to be a part of the defense, the strong defense, for sure.
There you go. Thanks so much, Stacy. Have a good night.
You too.
Let's go through that Odelay scoring drive. The Scots go 52 yards in 8 plays, take 3:16 off the clock. The touchdown, a 5-yard flat pass from Warren Peck to Wilson Axley. Regas adds the extra point, and with 2:19 to go in the half, it's the Scots 42, Irving, nothing.
Kickoff for Davidson Bogle Real Estate. Regas will kick from the left hash. We'll put a foot into this one. And Proctor will field it from the 2-yard line. Out to the 10, 15, 20. And he'll get manhandled right around the 21-yard line. For the Scots on the tackle, Brady Ray again.
Now Brady Ray showing what he can do. Coaches really like what he's been showing in practice, and they're going to get him more time at the safety spot.
It's going to be a 20-yard return for the Tigers. They've got 2:10 to work with here in the first half. Highland Park up by a commanding 42-0 lead. Everybody's happy in the stands.
Richter, Carroll, and Chawan in at the defensive front. Still got Korn and McMurray.
Out of the I formation, handoff comes left side. No place to go because Jack Morris steps in there and swallows the running back. A loss of 1 on the play. That was Adriel Pena on the carry.
Watch Morris explode through there. And again, one of the reasons he's able to do that is because his buddies up front are eating up the offensive lineman and giving him the gap to run through. It all works together when you do it correctly.
Morris came into the game with 22 tackles on the season. Winfield had 19 on the season. John Allen 12 on the season, and Anders Korn 17 tackles on the season coming into play tonight. Here we go. Handoff right side. Adriel Pena this time will pick up about 5 yards almost. That was kind of the play Lake Highlands ran a lot last week. Morris and Korn combined on the stop.
Scots have obviously filled that gap that they needed to. Again, the problem comes when you start trying to do other people's jobs. You go, well, if I don't do this, if they don't do what they're supposed to do, I've got to be over here to help, and that creates problems.
Don't forget our halftime show coming up, brought to you by Madden Securities, global capabilities from the people you trust. You will hear some player interviews or see some player interviews, and also we will have the band and the bells as well. Third down. Inside 30 seconds to go before our Madden Securities halftime show. Again, it has been a rough go for this Irving offense tonight. Here we go, a handoff, and again, no place to go. Guess who? Jack Morris is there again. Cormac Carroll is there again.
Well, Scots think they got the ball.
That may do it for the first half of play here at Islander Stadium. That will do it. Clock's going to roll down to 000. Highland Park will go into the locker room up 42-0. And real quick before we take our break, just your thoughts on this first half. Exactly what you wanted to happen if you're Highland Park.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the Scots just jumped down Irving's throat and didn't give him a chance to bleed. They smothered him so far tonight, and I'm sure they want to keep doing that. What they really like to do is now get some of the backups in there, give them a chance, because we know from experience how important backups are once you get down the road toward the playoffs.
Our Madden Securities global capabilities for people you trust halftime show comes your way next. Again, at halftime, Highland Park 42, Irving nothing.
I'll sit down, have a cup of cappuccino, a cookie, read a book. When the car is ready, they come get me. It's a great way to start a Saturday.
Discover our wide variety of new and L-certified vehicles at our Dallas and Fort Worth Sewell Lexus locations.
Scots find a way.
Scots find a way.
Scots find a way.
Scott, find a way.
Summer has sauced it at the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown.
Scots, find a way. Scots, find a way.
It's caught. He didn't get in. Highland Park is back-to-back state champion.
Scots find a way.
Scots, find a way.
We are Dallas-born, Dallas-based, and family-owned. We support the Highland Park Scots.
Tell us we can't do it. You wouldn't be the first. Every season begins with a dream, and we are paying the price to achieve ours. Sure, it's not easy. That's why we're surrounded by people who've got our backs. So go ahead, tell us we can't do it. Then watch us. Vista Bank, entrepreneurs banking entrepreneurs since 1912.
It's the Baker Brothers replay. The best offense is a good defense. Baker Brothers blocked those surgeons before they could take it to the house.
That play was electric.
That's right, Jimmy.
Shocking, even?
We get it, Jimmy.
Call now to get this month's electric special.
The best part about being a neighborhood bank is the neighborhood. It's the parks, the games, and the friendly faces we see on the streets and in our lobby. Because at Benchmark, it's not about numbers, it's about neighbors, our neighbors.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Highlander Stadium. This is the Madden Securities halftime show. Madden Securities global capabilities from people you trust. Will Washington here with Mikey Lamar. Mikey, that was more like it. Scott's up 42-0. That's what you call a bounce-back performance right there.
Yeah, that was a great half. The offense got going quickly. The run game was going. The pass game turned it on later on, and then defense was lights out.
Tons of highlights to choose from right here. You got the first touchdown here. This is a screen to our boy Steele Tobin, finds open grass, takes it all the way, Mikey. That's what you got to do. Get your skill guys in space with the ball.
Yeah, Steele just makes a few guys miss early, and then he's off to the races, and he's got that breakaway speed. So there was only one winner in that race, and Steele got the touchdown. Great play. Great play call on 3rd and long, too, from Coach Allen.
Really efficient half for the Highland Park offense right there. And here you see him. They put it on the ground right here. Warren Peck just picking up where he left off, taking it all the way in here. You get another angle here. See this little move, takes it around there, puts it in.
Yeah, that was a carbon copy from one of his touchdowns against Lake Highlands on that little speed option. Keep it, take it in for the score. Great run from Peck.
Right here, Warren Peck tosses it up in the air. That's Parker Thompson, who's a backup quarterback, really talented receiver as well. We said this in the pregame show, Mikey. We thought they'd give him some man-to-man looks, taking advantage of it right here. And then you see Warren Peck didn't have the pass, puts it on the ground, scores. And then right here, look at the zone blocking from this Highland Park line. Wilson actually turns it into turbo drive, puts it in the end zone. Couple touchdowns for him on the half. A great half from Wilson actually. And you see right here, another toss over there. That was actually second touchdown. Could have had 3. The block in the back. We didn't love the call, Mikey, but it is what it is. Wilson actually with a huge half. I'd say our picks to click from the pregame show doing pretty well. Wilson actually, a couple of touchdowns. Then you got Keller. He was involved early. We talked about this earlier, but Highland Park came out with what we thought they were going to do. They played that 2-back formation with Keller, Holmes, and Wilson actually. Man, it was tough to defend. They started with 2-back. Then they spread them out, put them both as receivers. That's so tough to defend that.
Yeah, especially when the Scots are executing like they are tonight. The 2-backs was working great, and then you see they spread them out, and then Coach Allen just ran it up the middle with Wilson on that long run. Great setup plays from Coach Allen and great execution by the players out there.
And then defensively, you called it in the pregame show. Cormac Carroll just playing outstanding, was making tackles as a nose guard. Thought they set it up front really well. And then the inside linebackers, Jack Morris, just playing outstanding. It was a great half from the defense.
Yeah, that front seven is looking really good. They were doing kind of what we were talking about, just not letting them get yards on 1st and 2nd down, forcing them in those 3rd and longs, and then getting after the quarterbacks in those 3rd and long passing downs.
Scott's up 49-0 at the half. We'll have more for the second half in a little bit. Jim sat down in the middle of the week with some Scots players. This is what they had to say.
Well, I always like to ask all the players that interview who had the biggest impact on your life up to this point. You, in your bio, mentioned that it was your dad. Tell us some of the things your dad has taught you over the years that has made an impression.
Well, he was my coach for all of the, youth sports like baseball and football and soccer, and just he taught me how to be a hard worker and what to do on and off the field, and just was a big impact in my life.
Right. Well, it's always great to have somebody like that around, especially when it's your dad. Will, let's move over to you. You saw quite a bit of playing time last year as a sophomore. What did you learn from that experience that you tried to bring forward into this year, or you tried to maybe correct if it was something you didn't want to do?
Yes, sir. I learned a lot about how to play Scott football. Coming in, playing JV Blue and playing varsity is a really different experience. Right. I played mostly JV Blue as a freshman and played varsity as a sophomore, and it's a big jump. And I feel like not a lot of people realize that, how big of a jump it is. I think me and Case really tried to emphasize how big of a jump it is to the incoming players this year. And we really tried to work with them, and I think we've done a pretty good job up to this point.
You bet. Case Pickelman, obviously captain, went out, I think, second or third play of y'all's first game, kind of a tough injury. Thankfully, he'll be back pretty soon. And now you're playing next to Stuart Alday, a sophomore. Can you relate to what
Yes,
maybe
sir.
Stuart's feeling?
Yes, sir, I really can. I know exactly where his head is at, and I wish I had someone who could relate to me when I was a sophomore. And he's really stepped up, and we're really proud of him, and I think he's doing a great job up to this point.
You had a bunch of family members were playing college football athletes or pro athletes. Tell us about that real quickly. Dad played where?
Yes, sir. So my dad played tight end at the University of Cincinnati.
Okay.
My grandfather ran track at Auburn. His brother was the quarterback at Alabama. And
family rivalry right there.
Yes, sir. Family rivalry. My great-grandfather played baseball for the A's, and he also played college football. And he's also he was the winningest high school football coach in Alabama history.
Wow, Saban on the college level and your granddad on the high school
Yes, sir.
level. That's awesome. Well, let's move over to Wesley here a little bit. Wesley, you had a brother, Whit, that played here at Highland Park. You probably idolized him a little bit growing up when you weren't fighting. What did you learn from him about what it takes to be a Highland Park Scot?
Yes, sir. I remember so vividly just going to watch Whit every single Friday night. And it's just kind of crazy that, like, I'm in the position that he was in. Mm-hmm. And it's, like, big shoes to fill. Three-time state championship winner. It's big shoes to fill, but, I've definitely learned a lot from my brother. He's taught me how to be a leader and just to work hard in everything I do because I don't want to regret not working hard one day.
Is it crazy to think that, you looked up to your brother, but now there are little kids that look up to each one of you guys, and you guys were probably the ones hanging on the rail saying, can I have a sweatband when you come off the field when you were little? Is that crazy to think now they're looking at me like that?
It's mind-blowing for sure. Like, it feels like yesterday I was just one of those kids hanging on the rails.
Right.
Like just hanging out at Highland or watching the Scots.
Yeah, but now by the same token, do you feel the responsibility to keep the winning going?
Yes, sir. It's definitely a huge responsibility, and I'm definitely fortunate enough to get to play for this team and get to play for my brothers beside me.
What do you guys want your legacy to be as a team at Highland Park? Charlie, we'll start with you.
Well, a lot of people going into this season, we're talking about like the class of 2024. We aren't as good as like the other classes. So I just kind of want to prove those people wrong and show them that we can do what the other like classes have done. Like we're good enough to do that.
You know who else they said that about? That 2016 team.
Yeah.
They said the exact same things where you guys were when they were sitting here. That nobody thinks we can do it, but we're going to prove them wrong. We move over to you, Wesley. What do you want the legacy to be of this team?
Just the guys who we had a tough loss and we came back stronger than ever and we went all the way.
So overcome adversity.
Yeah, exactly. Just responding well to a loss and just playing for our teammates and just coming back better than ever.
Right, now great answer. Will, we'll finish with you.
Yes, sir. So I'm a junior this year, so I feel like my job is to play for the seniors and give them the best senior season they can possibly have, because I would want the kids in the grade below me to do the same. And I feel like as a younger kid, we've looked up to these guys, and I feel like it's our time to prove to them that we got their back.
Tonight's player profiles have been brought to you by Madden Asset Management, global capabilities from the people you trust. You're watching Highland Park football, sponsored by the Sewell Automotive Group on the Game On Sports Network.
We've done both, new and pre-owned. It's the same experience. Everything's the same. They make it too easy to even think about going anywhere else.
Discover our wide variety of pre-owned vehicles at Sewell.com today.
Our name, Residential Capital Partners, reflects who we are and how we treat our customers. At Residential Capital Partners, we are dedicated to helping our customers build wealth through real estate. Residential Capital Partners, America's private lender.
Back to the Madden Securities halftime show. Madden Securities global capabilities from people you trust. We're going to toss it over to the Highlander Band and Bells. We'll be back after that. to go Bells, no promotional right back to us. We're going to do stats, then I'm going to say the party back.
These sponsorships provide much needed funding for our award-winning band program and the Highland Band. Thank you for your support. The band and the directors would also like to thank all of the boosters and parents for their incredible support. The Highland Band would like to wish the Irving High School band the best of luck. We hope you have a great marching season.
The 2023 Highland Bells. Lieutenants from left to right are Alexandra Wright, Ellie Donahoe, Sophie Bishop, Addison Renfro, and Mary Matheson. For your halftime entertainment, The Bells will perform a jazz routine to Don't Be So Hard.
I came here with a broken heart that no one else could see. I drew a smile on my face to paper over me. But wounds heal when tears dry and cracks they don't show. So don't be so hard on yourself, no. Let's go back to simplicity. I feel like I've been missing me. Was not who I'm supposed to be. I felt this darkness over me. We all get there eventually. I never knew where I belonged, but I was right and you were wrong. Been telling myself all along. Don't be so hard on yourself, no. Learn to forgive, learn to let go. Everyone trips, everyone falls. So don't be so hard on yourself, no. I'm just tired of marching on my own. Kind of afraid I'll feel it in my bones. Won't let my heart turn into stone. So don't be so hard on yourself, no. I'm standing on top of the world, right where I wanna be. So how can this dark cloud keep raining over me? We all get there eventually. I never knew where I belonged, but I was right and you were wrong. Been telling myself all along. Don't be so hard on yourself, no. Learn to forgive, learn to let go. Everyone trips, everyone falls. So don't be so hard on yourself, no. 'Cause I'm just tired of marching on my own. Kind of afraid I'll feel it in my bones. Won't let my heart turn into stone. So don't be so hard on yourself, no.
Origin Bank is the proud sponsor of the 2023 team. The Highland Bells are under the direction of Mrs. Shannon Phillips. Associate Director is Mrs. Emily Sanchez. And Assistant Director is Mrs. Berkeley Slover.
Welcome back to the Madden Securities. Welcome back to the Madden Securities halftime show. Will Washington here with Mikey Lamar. Let's take a look at the first half stats. Mikey, it really tells the story right there. Scott's with 160 passing yards, 119 on the ground, really limiting Irving offensively to 14 total yards. Didn't allow anything. It all started with that defensive front seven of Highland Park, so really just dominating overall in this one. And this is really the bounce back that we wanted to see. We said defensively we wanted to see the fundamentals, the discipline, the technique, the attention to detail. That's really what we saw. They did such a good job. We saw it when we were watching it up there. They were winning. They were getting off their blocks. They were making tackles. Guys were flying to the ball. Really good pursuit. Got some young guys in the game. Saw sophomore Langdon McMurray in there. Had some great play from some of those guys. So really good defensive half. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, always. And I mean, when the other team has more minutes of time of possession than total yards, you know you're doing something right. And so Scots looked really good in that half. Impressive half from the Scots.
That'll do it for the halftime show here. We're going to toss it up to the guys in the booth here with Russell, Jim, Jay, and Party Pat. Second half is coming up right after this. Gotcha, yep.
Convenient.
Yes.
Between Lovers Lane and University Boulevard on Preston Road. Not Just Soccer is locally owned and has served the Highland Park community for youth sports equipment needs since 1989. Whether you're looking for soccer, football, basketball, baseball, volleyball, or lacrosse equipment, they carry it all, and they take pride with specialists in each sport, and in many circumstances, you'll be helped by a current Highland Park athlete. Go Scots! Well, just about ready to get the third quarter underway here from Highlander Stadium. It has been, as you can see from the score, all Highland Park in this ball game. Scott's defense has held Irving to only 14 yards of total offense in the first 2 quarters of play. Coming into the third and fourth quarters, my expectation is we get a lot of second and third teamers into the game for the Scots.
Get that, make sure that mic's on. Yes, Russell, I mean, that's the hope. Obviously, with a team of over 100 players, there are a lot of young men that don't get to see the field much, but this is their opportunity. This is what the starters can give them by jumping out to a lead like this and say, all right, you're going to get your chance to play now. So we're going to get to see some new faces, and it's going to be fun to see what they can do, because I promise you, some of those new faces are going to play key backup roles when the Scots get to the end of the season and down towards the playoffs.
Just to give you an update, Lake Highlands and Jesuit went to halftime with the Wildcats up 14-0. They got that 14-point lead early in the first quarter, held it throughout the first half.
Lake Highlands, I'm looking at the box score here, picked up a fumble and returned it 47 yards to go up 14-0. And so it's still a tight game over there at Jesuit. We'll keep you posted.
Here we go. The kickoff of the third quarter, and our second half is now underway. Proctor from the end zone. He's going to bring it out. 5 to the 10. Tries to turn his body to the left and get more to the center of the field, and he's not going to go very far.
Now, I believe
got out near the 11-yard line.
10 of the 11 coverage men might make that 9 of the 11, not counting the kicker. We're probably in on that tackle.
That was not a great idea, I don't think, to bring that out from the end zone. But again, that is Napoleon Proctor, and he's only a freshman, but he is a speedster, and he is really, when you kind of look at this team, he's one of those guys that's going to be key in the years to come.
He is, and what that tells you a little bit about the Irving program. If you have a freshman, no matter how good he is, starting on the varsity, if you need him, you probably got some problems other places, but Proctor is going to be a key player for them, as you said, going forward.
Now from their own 16-yard line, handed off, running play goes off to the right side. Not going to be a whole lot for David Diaz. He'll get maybe 4 yards. Then he's going to be stacked up. You got a number of Scots coming off the bottom of that pile, including Jack Morse.
And we mentioned him earlier in the first half. Big offensive tackle to Danthius Upshaw, who I think is the Irving Tigers' best offensive lineman, pulling and trying to kick out, simulating what Lake Highlands was doing last week to the Scots, trying to find a crease in there somewhere, but Scots have found a way to shut that down.
Here we go on 2nd down and 6 from their own 20-yard line. The Tigers will split 2 to the left side, stack those 2 receivers. Handoff goes to Adriel Pena. He's going to get out near the 23. 3rd down for the Tigers. Highland Park's going to get the tackle made by Henry Richter.
That dive play, again, that dive is much more effective when you fake it sometimes and have the quarterback bootleg out to the left, but Irving is not, at least so far, has not done that.
Jonah Chawan is in at a defensive line position for Highland Park. Carroll and Richter, the other down lineman. Now the 2 outside backers step in on 3rd and short yardage. The run goes right up the middle. This will be a 1st down as Adriel Pena will go right up the middle into the arms of John Allen. Move the chains, and that's only going to be the 3rd 1st down of the game for the Tigers.
Irving had some room to run there. You see this, there's that big block by Upshaw. The left tackle for Irving kicks out the Highland Park defensive end. Backers step up, but not before the Tigers pick up a 1st down.
Our replays this quarter are brought to you by Harris Orthodontics. They know how to tackle crooked teeth. That's Harris Orthodontics. 1st down, 27-yard line is where Irving will scrimmage from. Out of an I formation with the quarterback under center. Turn, give it to the tailback. Comes to the near side, and Pena will pick up yardage all the way out past the 32. Wesley Winfield will step in and make the tackle. Bryce Laskowski is in there to help make the tackle for the Scots.
Scots making substitutions now. McMurray in at outside linebacker for the Scots. Looks like number 23, Jack McCollum, still in. Let's see if all the secondary is still intact. I see, again, Laskowski in for Giese. Brady Ray in the game as well.
Here we go. Hands off right up the middle. Jack Morris is there to meet the running back just at the line of scrimmage and drives him back to the 30-yard line. They'll give him forward progress of maybe half a yard, but not much more than that.
If you're a young linebacker and you want to know how to play the position, watch Jack Morris, because he shuts the door on the running back. Running back looks like he's got momentum, headed upfield. Look at this replay. Watch Jack Morris stop him cold in his tracks, drive him back. Now, to be fair, he gets a little help from one of his buddies, but still, excellent play by Jack Morris.
Third down. Handoff again goes to Pena. He's not going to get there. He looked like he had a little bit of daylight, but then Morris steps in there. Also coming through there for Highland Park to help on the tackle.
Brady Ray.
Brady Ray.
And again, the coaches have been very impressed with what Ray has done in practice, and he's getting the benefit of that right now. Here comes the punt return team.
Adriel Pena, by the way, carried 5 times in a row. He carried for 4 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 1 yard, 2 yards, and he got hit on every one of those.
Yeah, he's getting popped, so you're going to find out how hard he's willing to run. Schindel deep.
Cooper Schindel is going to return this. Fields it at his own 32.
Here we go.
Trying to take it outside the numbers, left side, gets outside the hash, and steps out of bounds near the 48-yard line. Scots will have really good offensive field position right here as we go down to Pat Sauer and his sideline reports, brought to you by Macero.
Hey guys, I've got the captains of the cheerleaders here. Introduce yourselves for us, please.
Hi, I'm Caroline Jurvek. I'm Georgia Graves. And I'm Sobi Nieto.
And are y'all all seniors? You are, okay. So how do you keep your voice in shape to be able to yell the entire game every week?
Savor it for the best parts of the game.
There you go.
We practice a lot and work really hard for these games.
And you know, it's just we want to be here, so it's easy whenever you love what you're doing.
Well, it's fun to see y'all cheering every week, and we appreciate it, and I know the football players do too. Go Scott.
Go Scott! Go Scott!
All right,
Thanks,
Keller
guys.
Holmes on a catch out of the backfield. He'll pick up 11 yards, and that's going to be a first down for Highland Park. Parker Thompson is in at quarterback now for Highland Park. He takes over for Warren Peck. Thompson steps back, throws left. That's going to be caught. Charlie Schneider out on the far side. Got around the first tackler and gets right up there near that first down marker. He may be just a shy tad of that. Yep, it's going to be a 9-yard pickup, so second down and 1.
And good protection right there for Parker Thompson, just right out to Charlie Snyder. Did good job dodging the defenders.
Second down, short yardage. This time Thompson to throw. Looks right, throws right, caught. First down, Highland Park. And it looks like that's going to be Paxton Smith who made the catch. No.
Laskowski.
It is Laskowski. Okay,
Laskowski
so
in.
Jay, let me put this in there. The 5, the 9, the 8, and the 6 are all hard to read when those jerseys get bunched. And a 0 would be too.
Brian Rapp in the game at the slot receiver.
Here's a pass out to Keller Holmes. He took a pretty good shot, but he holds on to the football. That'll be a 4-yard gain for the Scots. They're in the Shelby American red zone.
Let's set the stage. Russell Snyder in. Got Jedi McKnight in at a slot in the trips side of the field. To the right, to the left rather. Brian Rapp.
Highland Park, we got a busted play right here. There's a flag thrown, a touchdown pass. If it is on the defense, it's a touchdown to Charlie Schneider. It's offsides. It will be a touchdown. That's going to go from Parker Thompson to Charlie Schneider, his second touchdown catch of the season for Charlie.
Great job by the offense. The tendency is you want to, when the defense jumps, you want to stop. But if you'll keep going, you'll get a free play. It doesn't matter what happens. It's always going to be good on that situation. Parker Thompson just lays it up in the air, tells his buddy Charlie Schneider to go up and get it, and he does.
Gave you that starting lineup for the offense. It was brought to you by Goff's Hamburgers. Here comes the extra point. brought to you by Kensington Vanguard National Title. It's up and on the way, and it is good.
Kate Trotter doing the holding duties that time for Steele Tobin.
Let's go down to the sideline. Jay Ellis is down there. His reports brought to you by Macero, Mexican Spirit, American Life, and I think it's one of your wife's favorite places.
Hey, Russell, you got to give Parker Thompson credit for that pop-up to the shortstop on the left side. Of course, Charlie Schneider's the shortstop for the Scots, but where the credit is due is in knowing how to execute. Parker was able to draw the right defensive end offsides. He knew he wasn't going to throw deep until he knew he had the free play. And, of course, as Coach Castello in the booth said, when you've got that free play, there's no risk. And so what did he do? He threw it up high to his tallest receiver in the all the way in the end zone, and I like Charlie Snyder's chances if he's going up for a ball in the air. He's tall, he's got good hands and athleticism, and credit Parker Thompson for knowing where to put the ball when he's got that opportunity.
And what did you tell me about Macero before the game got started, Jay? You said family favorite?
Yeah, not only are they the sponsor of my sideline reports, but they're my wife's second home and favorite restaurant. So
now you're just looking for free meals. No.
Well, I sure would like it. It would save me a heck of a lot of money. But I do have to say, Liza loves Macero.
Here's our Davidson Bogle Real Estate kickoff, and this is going to be fielded right about the goal line. Proctor's going to take it out again. Proctor to the 10, 15. He's got some running room. He's got a lane open all the way out to the 30. He's going to be taken down by Will Heinrich, who grabbed him around the ankle and tripped him up. But a nice return right there, 31 yards. By Napoleon Proctor.
Well, you see his speed right there. He's been trying to bring it back all the way across the field, which is not a good idea against this Scots coverage team. That time, the ball was kicked in the corner. He stays on that side of the field, able to really use his speed to get upfield and almost broke it.
Irving's starting average field position, or I should say average starting field position, has been their own 21-yard line. Highland Park's average starting field position has been Irving's 47-yard line.
Look, just a small difference.
Games have been played on Irving's side.
Oh, hello.
Oh, wow.
Jack
there is
Morris.
A huge tackle by Jack Morris coming across to drop the running back behind the line of scrimmage. Adriel Pena just had nowhere to run.
Pena is going to be laying in bed tonight. He's going to see a freight train coming at him, and it's going to be Jack Morris taking his head off time after time after time.
There was a flag thrown. Now they're going to wave it off. And no gain on the play. Actually, it's going to be a loss on the play. So second down, roughly 13 needed for a first.
And Russell, defensively for the Scots, looks like Hank Lee in at a defensive end for the Scots. Richter still in the game. Looks like Owen Hilsheim in at the nose guard spot as well. Bo Jones in alongside Jack Morris at the inside linebackers. McMurray and number 6, Hudson Reed at the outside.
Again, the quarterback goes under center, sends a man in motion. Fake the outside handoff. Inside handoff comes back to Napoleon Proctor. He will get 1, maybe 2 yards. Got tackled right at the 30-yard line. And for the Scots on the tackle, Landon McMurray.
McMurray
that's a situation where you're staying at home, make that tackle.
Yeah, and that's what the Scots weren't doing last week. They were running off, trying to do too much. And again, you just saw right there, big offensive tackle pulling, trying to kick out Landon McMurray. He stays home, able to make the play on that little counter action out of the I backfield.
Tigers only 2 for 10 converting third downs tonight. Face third 11 here.
The Scots backers coming.
Formation. That's Proctor in motion. They'll turn, hand it off. They'll get the handoff to the left side. It's only going to pick up a yard or 2, maybe. Not a whole lot there because Jack Morris steps in there and knocks down Pena once again. And a punting situation for Irving.
Once again.
Tell me that one more time, Mike. Adriel Pena has carried 19 times for 28 yards, just a little over a yard per carry tonight.
That's a lot
for
of
the Irving running back.
A lot of hard knocks.
Kick is going to be fielded down around the 37. Schindel kind of weaves his way between defenders. Will get out near the 47-yard line, almost a 10-yard return. Highland Park will have a first down their side of the 50. And again, the Scots have that commanding 49-0 lead.
Schindel, one of those 5 offensive running backs, getting some time on returning kicks and on defense at safety. Let's see who the Scots bring in, trot out this time. Looks like number 72 at center.
I believe that is Will Ogle.
That's Will Ogle, moved over to center. We'll get you the rest.
Thompson still in at quarterback. Option play goes left side. He'll keep it himself.
Here we go. Here we go.
He's got a first down and more.
Uh-oh.
He lost the ball. Lost the ball, and I believe this is going to be covered by Irving or not.
Oh, no, but it looks like Parker got it back.
He did. He got it back.
I don't know how he got it back because he lost it going down. Looks like he had no chance of getting it back. We'll see the replay right here.
Brought to you by Harris Orthodontics.
Look at, he needs to put the ball in that other hand, but he's going to lose it.
He gets tripped, and then he falls down.
And he's able to get it back.
Boy, I don't know. That ball bounced just right for him.
And 4 Irving defenders had it squirt through their hands. Can't get a handle on it.
We've got an injury on the field. There is a Irving Tiger who is being tended to. Hopefully it is going to be nothing serious. Injuries tonight for Dr. Field Scoville at the Carroll Clinic. He's an orthopedic surgeon, fellowship trained in sports medicine. That's Dr. Field Scoville.
And Russell, that's number 3 down on the field. That's Perez Diaz.
He's going to get up. He's walking off under his own power, and that is a good sign.
Yep.
Jay Ellis along the sidelines for Massaro. What you got for us?
Well, I just wanted to point out Parker Thompson showed his speed there. I don't know if you all saw it in the booth, but the backside defensive end timed up the snap and was running full speed at Parker Thompson. And Parker, starting from a dead stop, was able to run left and outrun this fast number, I think it was 7, before he got to the other edge on the left side. And that's a nice luxury to have a quarterback with that kind of speed.
Here we go. First down for the Scots from the 30-yard line of the Tigers. Coming around the right side is James Lancaster. His second carry of the year. He'll pick up a couple. Move the chains out to the 27.
And James Lancaster hobbles off. We hope it's not anything serious. There, got
holding his
hit low down by his ankle or his knee. But he's usually not the guy running wide right there. His forte is between the tackles. He's such a bowling ball. He's hard to bring down.
Cooper Schindel will replace him in the backfield. He'll stand to the right of Parker Thompson. Works out of the shotgun on second down. Quarterback draw right up the middle. He's got running room. Thompson breaks one tackle, two tackles. Up the right sideline now to the 5. Did he get in? Touchdown, Highland Park.
Wow.
That's a 27-yard touchdown run for Parker Thompson.
Boy, great to have a backup like Parker Thompson. Can play wide out. Obviously got the speed you need to be a great quarterback as well. We'll watch that replay in just a second, but great job just on the quarterback draw up the middle, and Parker breaks it hard to the right, finds the end zone.
Touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, supporting the Scots since 1999. Brett Kennedy, Peter McGuire, we thank you for sponsoring the Extra Points. Thanks to all the people, in fact, at Kensington Vanguard National Title. Kicks up and on the way, and it is good. Nick Regas continues to be perfect on PATs. Scots extend that lead out to 56-0.
Here you see
right up the middle.
The replay on the quarterback draw. Look at Parker Thompson stepping through, and just his strength gets him into the end zone. It doesn't allow the Irving defender to knock him out of bounds. Great to see.
First half, he had a 32-yard touchdown catch. He's got a 27-yard touchdown run here in the second half. Scots extend that lead 56-0.
It's a comforting thing to know that Scots have not just 2 quarterbacks, but 3 and maybe 4 who can do the job if you need to get it done. That time, the Scots, let's get that scoring drive. Scots go 54 yards in 3 plays, take a minute, 2 off the clock. The touchdown, the 27 yard quarterback keeper by Parker Thompson. Regas has the extra point, and with 2:27 to go in the third quarter, it's Highland Park 56, Irving nothing.
I'd like to say thanks to Dr. John Heinrich at Hilltop Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for being a sponsor of Highland Park football. He's sponsoring our turnovers, but so far we really haven't had any Highland Park turnovers or any Tiger turnovers. So our turnovers tonight would be brought to you by Dr. John Heinrich of Hilltop Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
But because the Scots are playing so well.
Here we go, the kickoff from Highland Park. It's going to be fielded at the 6-yard line. When he just,
here we go.
He takes it from wherever. He's got some speed. Look at him come all the way across the field. We've got a flag, and he may be hurt.
Ball. Scott's got it.
He dropped the ball, and I'll tell you what, Proctor may be hurt. He fell in a really awkward fashion, and let's hope that's not going to be anything serious.
Yeah.
He is in some pain right there.
59, Will Signor comes up with the ball for the Scots. The tackle was made by number 38, Brant Williams. And I think Proctor has been kicked to every time tonight by this Scots coverage team. Not because they're picking on him by any means, but they're trying to kick to the corner, and he's the guy that's there.
Right after we get this call, we're going to take another look at it.
On the kicking team, holding on the receiving team.
Penalties will negate.
Each other, we're going to re-kick.
Re-kick.
And that's what they're going to do.
Here comes Proctor.
Our Harris Orthodontics replay.
Oh, looked like
watch him at the
almost
very
had him.
end of this. Right there.
Yeah, he just
got that
got
knee
the shoestring.
And again, our injuries for Dr. John Heinrich, Hilltop Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. We hope this is going to be nothing serious. But it appears to be an ankle, maybe.
Jay Ellis
or
said
a
it
knee.
was ankle, which is much preferable to a knee.
I believe Pat Sauer may have another guest, so should we go down to the stands and see who Pat has found to speak with now?
Hey, guys, I'm on the 25-yard line toward the trailer in case the camera can pick us up. But I've got Matt Schindel, Cooper Schindel's dad here. That running back group is a pretty full house. So it was nice to see him get some punt returns tonight, huh, Matt?
Yeah, he just wants to get his hands on the ball however he can, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams, for sure.
That's a team player. That's what you're looking for. You played here back in what year?
90. Well, 90. I graduated in 91, but yeah, we did not throw the ball quite as much as they throw the ball today.
Okay, so Gizmo is what they call you. Is that because you're all about the trick plays? What are you talking about there?
That was probably Don't Feed Me After Midnight, maybe more that. But I think I averaged about 1 or 2 receptions a game back then. We were the veer.
Nice. We all of us receivers suffered from that in high school back in the day, right?
For sure.
So Matt, appreciate it. Glad he's out there having a good time. Good to see you guys, and nice to see us up 56-0 at the almost the start of the fourth.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Hey, I wanted to correct something. I thought that was Proctor who was injured. It was not. It was Cage Williams, who has been playing defense. He's in the secondary. They swapped, I think, the sides the receivers were playing right there. So it was not Proctor, but it was Gage Williams who hopped off under his own power there. And we're going to re-kick because we had the offsetting penalties just a moment ago. And Highland Park will re-kick it.
Let's see who's down in the far left corner. If that's
29
Proctor.
now, right?
Now Proctor's back. And he's healthy. In the third quarter, Russell, it's Lake Highlands 14, Jesuits 7. So game tightening up over there down the tollway.
Adriel Pena is going to be the other deep back, but this is going to be Proctor, and this time he's going to let it go through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. First time tonight that they have not tried to return the kickoff. And
No,
probably
Wise.
Wise.
Wise, exactly. But I understand, you know, you're looking for any spark. You're looking for anything good to happen, but obviously there's an alternative there. It could be something bad as well. And 34 yards of offense total, Mike McAbee. So 148 yards of kick return, 34 yards total offense, so you understand why he might do that.
Tigers from their own 25.
Ball's
on
loose,
first
ball's
down.
loose.
Balls is loose, and it is covered by the running back, so it'll stay in possession of Irving, but they will lose 2 yards on that.
Number 90, Jonah Chawan, in on the defensive front, along with Clay Green.
Is that Hatcher Kaiser in the secondary for Highland Park, I believe? Second down and 12. Looking to the sideline. Now the quarterback steps under center. Ibarra steps back, hands it off. Pena goes off right tackle.
Nice tackle.
He'll pick up about 4, maybe 5 yards. Nice tackle made by the defense there.
That was number 13, Miller Ferris, coming up to make the hit. Ferris is a cornerback out there. Also number 26. That was Hudson 28, excuse me. That's Matthias Tamakas. We got Jones in at the inside linebacker, along with Will Signor.
Here, quarterback and running back ran together. Pena is able to bounce off of him and pick up positive yards. He'll get 3 to the 31, but a 4th down now, and Irving again will have to kick it away.
Which is all the same.
They have an injury down there. One of the Highland Park players is sitting down.
That's Hank Lee, defensive end for the Scots. Looks like an ankle. He's holding his ankle.
And again, our injuries tonight are, as we take a look at them, for Dr. John Heinrich at Hilltop Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
And Hank Lee walking off the field. Hank, and there's some future Scots going at it with the foam fingers.
There you go. I was wondering why they were giving the foam fingers away out there. It's to get them ready.
It's to get it ready for the Mad for Plaid coming up.
4th down. And again, kick it away, and Schindel will do the return, and this will be the 9th punt of the game for Irving.
Well, you just feel for him almost, don't you? I mean, obviously, I'm happy Highland Park's out 56-0, but at the same time, you wish Irving could get something going.
Let's see. They may let the clock wind down. It can go. No, it cannot. Yeah, it can go to triple zeros. They're going to let it roll down, so that's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter here at Highlander Stadium. It's been all Highland Park. The Scots, from the get-go, have really done a job on Irving. We've got another 12 minutes to play, so we'll take a timeout. We're back to Highlander in just a moment, where our score, Highland Park 56, Irving nothing. Ready to get the fourth quarter underway, and Irving will have a fourth down. Kicking it away. Schindel is deep. Fair catch is going to be called for and made at the Highland Park 42-yard line. First fair catch we've had tonight. Scots will take over at their own 42, and again up 56-0. And don't forget, coming up after the game, we will have our interviews. We'll visit with our players of the game. Jay Ellis will catch up with those. By the way, that Lake Highlands Jesuit game, it's now Lake Highlands leading 14-7 as they play in the second half.
Getting tighter.
Highland Park starts this drive with 381 yards of total offense. Thompson still in at quarterback for the good guys. He's got two in the backfield. Schindel on the near side and Brian Rapp on the far side. Pass out to the flat left side. That's going to be caught. And that is Cannon Spackman who made the catch.
And this is Cade Trotter in at quarterback for the Scots.
It is, you are right.
Cade Trotter, the son of former Highland Park coach Toby Trotter. Coached here back in, I believe, 2 of the 3 state championship years before moving on to Arkansas and then to a couple of private schools, but he is back with his son Cade at quarterback.
Here's Schindel taking the handoff right side. He'll pick up 6 yards down near the 36-yard line. Nice run right there by Cooper Schindel.
Brian Rapp also in the game. Got number 64 at guard. That's John Middledorf. Number 62 at the other guard. That's J.D. Copeland. And number 78 at the tackle. That's looks like Davenport.
This time Schindel has a lead blocker in front of him. Gets tripped, but I think he may have fallen down in front of the first down marker. He did. He got all the way down to the 30. Nice run there by Cooper Schindel. As you'll get a look at it here momentarily, our replays here in the fourth quarter brought to you by Al Bernays, serving Highland Park families for 25 years. Total offense now for these two teams, it's more than just lopsided. 409 yards of offense for Highland Park, 40 total yards for Irving. Here's Rapp.
There we go. Here
right
we
up
go.
the middle. Does a nice job of changing direction, getting down there inside the 20. Scots will move the chains again as the ball all the way down to the 18-yard lines. 12-yard run for Brian Rapp.
Jedi McKnight in at one of the slot receiver positions. Number 85, Hatcher Clark in at the Z.
Scots look to the sideline. Plays are being signaled in.
Stuart Alday still in the game at left tackle.
I believe that is Gunnar Ralseth.
Yep.
In at a running back. He'll get the ball. His first carry of the night. Started around the right side, then tried to cut it back. No place to go, though. Too many white jerseys. And this will be a Highland Park loss.
Copeland had a great block right there. Hayner, number 68, William Haney in at center for the Scots.
A lot of second and third teamers getting some time out on the field tonight with that score 56-0. Ralseth was the 8th different running back or different person to carry the ball tonight. We've had quarterbacks carrying it as well, but 8 different rushers tonight for Highland Park. Pass into the flat left side that was intended for Ralseth, but it's out of bounds. I'm sorry, that was Jedi McKnight.
Jedi McKnight. Cade Trotter got some zip on the ball, a lot of velocity, and Jedi could not hang on to it. He was right on the sideline anyway, so it's questionable if he could have got the feet in bounds, even if he caught it.
Charlie Schneider checks. No, it is not. It is that Parker Thompson?
That's Patton.
No,
Patton Smith.
Paxton Smith.
Paxton Smith.
Dang it, getting ready. Those 8s and 9s and 6s, all hard to read for Highland Park. Here we go on third down and long. Trotter
Oh,
Beautiful
yeah, nice
pass.
pass.
Left side, that's going to be caught. Run into the end zone for the touchdown. Cannon Spackman with his first touchdown of the season.
Just a little comeback route by Cannon Spackman. Cade Trotter puts the ball right between the 8 and the 7. And then he loops inside to the hash marks for the touchdown.
Touchdown brought to you by Bob Lilly Promotions, sporting the Scots since 1999. Our extra point coming up for Brett Kennedy and Peter McGuire, Kensington Vanguard national title. Here's Nick Regas.
Trotter to hold.
This will be his 9th PAT, and it is good. He split the uprights. Tell you what, Pat's got somebody. Let's take a look at this real quick.
Nice comeback route, and great job accelerating the end zone by Cannon Spackman.
That replay brought to you by Al Bernays. Now, Pat, now you can talk. Go ahead.
I want to talk about that great pass protection and some of the run blocking by backup number 62 right guard J.D. Copeland. I was asking his dad. I got David Copeland here. David, do you think he's got a future in real estate or something else? What's that something else?
Right now, he thinks he wants to be a broadcaster.
There you go. Look out, Jim.
It wouldn't be hard to replace one of the guys up here. So tell him to keep working.
I think he's going to major in sports broadcasting or sports journalism, and he went at college night the other night. Both TCU and Baylor have a really good program, and they were talking about that.
Well, what he needs to do is listen to the guys in the booth, mute it or something when I'm talking, and then maybe he'll learn something.
That's great.
He'll learn what not to do.
What not to do with Pat by Pat Sauer. All right, have a good one. Thank you, David. I appreciate it, and glad to have him out there working so hard.
All right, Pat. Great time. See you.
Here's the kickoff for Davidson Bogle Real Estate. This is going to be fielded around the 6-yard line. And Proctor will bring it across the 15. He will not get to the 50, to the 20-yard line. And he's going to be stopped right about the 17-yard line. That's where the Tiger offense will scrimmage from.
Hatcher, Kaiser, and Heinrich in on the play. Good pursuit. Here's that scoring drive for the Scots. 58 yards on 7 plays. Take 3:05 off the clock. Touchdown. A 21-yard pass from Cade Trotter to Cannon Spackman. Regis adds the extra point. And with 8:48 to go in the game, it's Highland Park 63 and Irving nothing.
Out of the I formation, again, they'll give it to the running back. He's not a whole lot of running room. And again, it has been a rough road for this offense for Irving all night long. And Adriel Pena stays in the game, but he's going to be brought down by Clark Cosby. I'm sorry.
This is where, Highland Park is fired up to play. Irving's wanting to go home.
Highland Park beat the Tigers by this score last year, 63-0.
Looks like Hawsey in a defensive tackle for the Scots.
Again, handed off, and they'll run this one out across the 27, maybe near the 28-yard line for the Scots. Landon McMurray make the stop.
Number 48, Daniel Urbrock in.
Braden Resnaski comes in for Highland Park. Too many men on the field. We've got a flag thrown. This will be against the Scots.
They look like they choreographed those flag throws. Everybody went, "Oop, that's too many."
Defense.
Brant Williams checking in now for the Scots.
Still first down.
Number 96 in the game for the Scots. That's Alden Fisher. Try to see if we can bring you some more. Jack Steed, an outside linebacker.
I believe that's Aiden Fisher.
Aiden. Jonathan George in the game.
By the way, that was just the 4th penalty against Highland Park tonight. First down.
Oh, yeah, nice.
And again,
nice play by the nose, it looks like right there. get the number here. It's number 48 again. Daniel Erbrock from his nose position.
Boy, he just broke off with the guy that was blocking him and made the tackle. It was really good, as you saw it on that replay brought to you by Al Bernays. Tigers have now run 41 plays. They have 51 yards of total offense. Handoff up the middle, no.
Well, he's up still.
He's still on his feet, though. Busted out of that initial pack, and we'll get this one near the 39. That's enough for a first down, so move the chains for the Tigers. There's something good happening for Irving.
Irving coming with that trap block again by the Upshaw, the left tackle. A big hole right there. Secondary coming up and make the play for the Scots.
Tell you what, Adriel Pena doing a nice job of continuing to run hard. That's 26 carries now for Pena.
Well, that's a load. As much as he's been hit.
Finn Wallingford checks in for the Scots.
Finn Wallingford, whose grandparents lived next door to me for a long time.
Did you get out there with the football with him a few times?
No, he wanted to really know how to play.
Second down short. David Diaz. He won't get back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss of a couple.
That's Reed Jackson knifing in to make the play for the Scots.
Still have 5.5 minutes to go. Scots have that big 63-0 lead.
Highland Park having an off week next week, so they'll have a chance to get those nagging injuries hopefully healed up for Pickleman and Turner.
Third down out of the eye. Deep handoff to the running back. Not a lot of running room. Diaz is going to be driven back. He's going to come up just short of that first down marker, I believe. Nope, he got it. They gave him the first down yardage.
Ryder Smith in a defensive end up to make that play.
This is the 9th time that Highland Park and Irving have played. The Scots have a 6-2 lead in the overall series. Last time Highland Park lost to Irving, 1974. Know anybody who was playing back then?
No, not me. I was in college. Thank you very much.
I thought that was your senior year. No?
Yeah, I was done in May.
Here we go.
Yep.
Quarterback on a
nice
run around
second
the
effort.
side, a bootleg to the left side, and Ibarra has a first down and more, and that's going to be the biggest offensive play of the night for the Irving Tigers as he runs it all the way down to the 24.
Yeah, and that's again Cooper Schindel coming in from his safety position to make that final tackle. Irving, best field position they've had all night.
That was a 28-yard run, and Highland Park's defense comes back and says, we're not going to let you do that again. They go in on the handoff, and Diaz has no place to go.
Braden Resnansky coming up to make the hit with a bunch of his teammates.
Hunter Hawsey checks in for the Scots.
Hunter Hawsey, who is Max Hawsey's wide receiver coach for the Scots. That's his son coming in defensive end.
3.5 minutes to go. Offset eye this time. Diaz looking for places to go. No, that is Pena looking for a place to go. We have a Highland Park player down. They're going to call a timeout. This injury timeout is going to be brought to you by Dr. John Heinrich at Hilltop Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
It looks like Jonathan George, possibly number 92. Hope it's not anything serious.
Boy, the stadium got awful quiet.
Now, anytime you see somebody down and not moving, it's concerning.
Well, the Scots will be off next week. That's their bye week. And then they'll be back in action against Jesuit. That game's going to be played at Ford Stadium over on the SMU campus. And that likely could be big game as far as the district race goes.
Right, and that will be Highland Park will be the visiting team. It's Jesuits' home game, and they are, for the sake of crowd purposes, choosing to play it over at Ford Stadium on the SMU campus.
See, after Jesuit, they'll finish up with Berkner and Nimitz, MacArthur, Richardson, and close out the regular season on November 3rd at J.J. Pierce.
I think that's home game, J.J. Pierce, I think.
Here we go,
Oop,
inside handoff.
Counter. Oh.
Near side. Running back will take this down to the 16-yard line. Napoleon Proctor did a nice job of running in traffic right there. It's going to be Proctor to the top of your screen, left side on 4th down. We've got a whistle, and I believe this is going to be against the offense. That's tough because it was 4th and 2. This will make it 4th and 7.
Well, and
let's see if that changes what they're going to do. Obviously, it will.
Highland Park coaches, obviously, defensively especially, they want this shutout. And the young men who are in the game now who don't get to play a lot, they want it even more.
Field goal try coming up right here.
They're going to try to get something on the board.
39-yard field goal attempt. Advancing on the boy, he's got a leg, and he does hit it. Caleb Centro with a 39-yard field goal.
So Irving got a little something to feel good about before this game finishes up.
Well, for just the second time tonight, we'll see Highland Park's kick receiving team.
That's right.
On the field. They were there to open the game. Irving had a successful onside kick. They got the ball, but went 3 and out. And in Highland Park, on their first possession, went down and put points on the board, and they haven't looked back since.
Highland Park surely lining up their hands team.
No doubt. 2:31 to go in this one. Don't forget our post-game show coming up. Brought to you by Burger House, the official burger of Highland Park football.
There's that scoring drive for Irving. They go 61 yards in 12 plays, take 6:17 off the clock. The scoring play, a 39-yard field goal by Caleb Renfro and Centro, and with 2:31 to go in the game, it's Highland Park 63, Irving 3. See if I can get you an update on that Lake Highlands Jesuit score. At the moment, it's still saying playing in the fourth quarter, 14-7, Lake Highlands over Jesuit.
Scots have their hands team out there, expecting an onside kick, obviously. And again, Irving had a successful one to start the game.
But Scots now have the hands team in.
Caleb Centro will try to pooch this one over the top. Fair catch is going to be called for at the 20-yard line. Steele Tobin fields it for Highland Park.
Excuse me, Russell. Steele Tobin, smart move. The hands team is up front to field the ball, not to block for you. So best thing you can do is fair catch it, take it on the 25-yard line.
2:31 to play. If you're Highland Park right here, you're just running out the clock, trying to get this one finished up.
Well, yes and no. Yes, you're trying to run out the clock, but a lot of these players don't. This is the only chance they get to play, and so not that you're going to rear back and throw a bomb, but if you keep the drive alive and keep it moving down the field, give them a chance. These young men a chance to score. That's what they play for.
63-3 is our score. 2:31 to play. Highland Park will snap it back. Trotter wants to throw. Drifts off to the right. Fires on the run. It's complete out on the far right side of the field. I believe that's Jedi McKnight who made the catch.
Yep, nice catch by Jedi.
That's going to be a first down for the Scots at the 36.
It's always a debate of, do Scots have the game won, but do you keep throwing? Well, if the defense can't stop the backups, the second, third team, the way I look at it, that's their problem.
McKnight his first catch of the season, and it's a first down. Again, the Scots will spread it out. They've got the ball on the right hash mark. Trotter snaps his hands. He'll run a quarterback draw right up the middle. He'll pick up almost 5 yards. Call it 4 statistically. Taken down right there in the middle by Zane Ortiz. We're down to the 2-minute mark.
Looks like Davenport in the game at the left tackle now.
We got a lot of players to think about. We got to think about our offensive player of the game. That's brought to you by Vincent Elkinson LLP. We have to think of our high snap. Trotter tips it to his running back, and not exactly the way you draw it up.
New take on the tip drill.
There you go. That's going to be a pickup of about 1. Rawlseth, and not exactly what you want to do right there, but the Highland Park Scots are able to at least pick up positive yard in that.
Number 17, Gil Wagner, who is a 4th-team quarterback, in at the X position right now. Maybe
Scots
he's going to throw something?
4 for 4 on 3rd downs tonight. Let's see if they can convert this into a first. I'm sorry, 5 for 5 on 3rd down conversions.
Try again.
High snap.
Look at that open.
Off. And they will pick up the first down. 6 for 6 on 3rd down conversions.
That will, with less than a minute to go, ought to do it.
Nice run that time. On the carry was Tanner Muse, his first carry of the night.
Number 81, Tyler Heck in the game. Jetta McKnight heads off.
All right, got to think of a defensive player of the game. Brought to you by HP Youth Football. We'll talk to him after the game. We might get a special teams player of the game. That would be brought to you by Mark Clifton Holmes.
Might get a lineman of the game.
And we'll give you our stats of the game. Those are brought to you by Martin Lyons Watts Morgan Law. And our play of the game brought to you by Riddell Plumbing. That's going to bring us to the end of our football game. Never in question after about midway through the first quarter. Highland Park breezes to a 63-3 win over the Irving Tigers. We'll take a timeout. We get our post-game show underway in just a moment. Stay with us from Highlander Stadium.
At Patmos Capital Partners, our focus is on one thing: serving people. Our team is hardworking, humble, and ready to serve our residents and wisely steward our investors' capital. Our firm is focused on buying real assets that appreciate over time. We buy in growing communities with a high amount of job growth and in-migration. With a deep network of broker relationships, we pride ourselves in offering our investors off-market opportunities with attractive, risk-adjusted returns. We add value by employing best-in-class management teams who are dedicated to creating a thriving community by putting its residents first. Our in-house construction teams operate with a high level of detail, speed, and efficiency, and improve our interiors and exteriors.
We're still in commercial, Jay.
On design and new amenities. This allows us to increase revenue and decrease expenses, boosting our bottom line and maximizing our property values. We serve our investors with quarterly distributions, attractive tax advantages, and a hedge against inflation. Interested? Visit patmoscp.com today.
Here we go.
Boy, there you are, 63-3, our final score, and head coach Randy Allen is down with our Jay Ellis.
Yeah, I've got I've got Coach Allen. He's greeting a former player, and here he is. Coach Randy Allen, congratulations. Highland Park back in the win column this week. First of all, I just saw your wife, Carolyn. She gave you a kiss like this was your first one ever. Is it like that after every game?
No, just after we got beat last week, I guess. But
well, Coach, speaking of that, we don't want to dwell on it, but Highland Park looked like a different team tonight. They were you and your team were firing on all cylinders from the start. Tell us about what you all did this week at practice to get back in the win column.
Well, we just went back to work, and a champion doesn't get beat often, but when they do, they can't wait to get back on the field and make amends and set the record straight. So our guys were about going back out and showing what kind of football team we have tonight.
Coach Allen, to set the tone on offense, we saw a lot of Warren Peck running the ball again. The pundits at the start of the season said that was the knock on Warren. He wasn't a runner. Tell us what it's like to have a runner who may be leading all of the Dallas area among quarterbacks in rushing yards.
Yeah, Warren does a great job of making decisions on when to run and when to throw, and he's been making some big plays, especially on third down, running the football and making first downs for us. So that's a big plus for our offense.
Coach, defensively, Highland Park saw an Irving team try to run the ball and try to emulate what they saw Lake Highlands doing last week. Highland Park held them to about 1.5 yards per play for the majority of the game. Tell us about the intensity of your defense tonight.
Our defense played great tonight against the run especially. Of course, they didn't throw it much, but they really did a great job. We had a lot of 3-and-outs, and I don't know if they had maybe 1 or 2 first downs in the first half. Our defense played great tonight, though.
Before I pass the witness, I've got one last question, Coach, and we'll go to special teams. Your special teams were great tonight, especially the punt return team, who had a lot of opportunities, and you've got several guys that can return punts. Tell us about not just those returners, but the guys that open those holes for them.
Well, it's hard to tell you who was doing the blocking on the punt returns, but Wilson actually had one early and got it called back because of a block in the back. And then Steele Tobin's a really threat to score. And then Cooper Schindel at the end's a really good punt returner. And we were putting pressure on the punter, and we were getting the ball caught with room to run, and they were making some big plays. So, but I'm real proud of our kickoff team. I'm real proud of our punt return team. They did a good job tonight.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach.
Is his 438th head coaching victory. And over on the other side, the head coach for the Irving Tigers, Brent
Nickerson,
let me know when you have to play the game ready continues to look for his first head coaching victory. We're just about ready for our players coming up here in just a moment. And I believe we've got our play of the game ready to go.
There it is.
I've got defensive player Morse, and our defensive player of the game is brought to you by
HV Youth Football, preparing tomorrow's Scots today.
So, Morse, you were all over the place tonight. I heard several of the people I was standing with on the sideline talking about how great you were at making those plays, but also noticing it's not just you, it's the guys up front that are fighting the battle so you can get through. Tell us about what those guys up front are doing so you can make so many tackles.
I mean, they're filling their gaps. They're keeping the one gap I have to contain open, and once they do that, I'm fitting it, I'm killing someone. But after every play, I'm going up to Jonah or Henry, Daniel Turner, Cormac. I'm saying, that was all you. That was not me. That was all y'all. I can't do that if you're not there.
Hey, Jack, it also looks like you're having a lot of fun. When you make a tackle, you get up, and I can't hear you, but I bet the guys around you can. What are you saying? Are you laughing or you're smiling? It feels like you're smiling, but tell us how much fun you're having.
I don't really say nothing when I'm out there. I'm not trying to get no penalties, but usually I just go out there, I laugh, I smile a little bit. But as I said earlier, after every play, I'm going up to my D-line and telling them it's all them. It's never really me.
Jack, tell us about this week preparation. It's a little different. As Coach Allen just mentioned, champions don't lose often, but when they do, they don't dwell on it and they come back in full force. So tell us what you and your teammates on the defense did this week to make sure that it was a commanding performance tonight.
So after last week, obviously we had a bad taste in our mouth, let up way too many rushing yards. And Monday, we worked so hard, probably our best Monday practice of the year. Tuesday, best Tuesday practice of the year. Wednesday, best Wednesday practice of the year. It was because we knew that was not us on Friday and Saturday last week. We knew we had to come out and work harder than everyone else because there's teams that are better than Lake Highlands out there that we got to go and work hard. Like whoever we play in playoffs, late rounds, early rounds, it's gonna be a different ball game. So we knew what we have to do from here on out.
Jack Morris, we didn't expect any different from the Scots tonight, but you really exemplified it. You're our defensive player of the game, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go to him next. Next, I've got our offensive player of the game. This is number 14, Steele Tobin. Our offensive player of the game is brought to us by Vincent and Elkins. Steele, we've been meaning to talk to you all week. It seems like any week you could be our player of the game, but tonight you caught our attention early with I guess it was a little jailbreak screen over to the right that you took to the house. Tell us how that developed and who all played a role on that play.
Yes, sir. We went in the game. We knew our 3-play packages, so we were going in, already knew what the first 3 plays were going to be. And really big props to the O-line and the receivers for blocking downfield. And I was running down the field, number 5, Keller Holmes. He was running with me, just taking every block he could, trying to get me to the end zone.
Steele, tell us about the pride that you and the other receivers, and as you mentioned, the running backs take in making blocks so that your teammates can turn short gains into long gains and touchdowns.
I think blocking is one of the most important things for receivers. Like, we all know how to catch and run with the ball. That's just natural to receivers and running backs, but we really emphasize blocking every game and every practice. We just get that down, and we'll block your touchdowns, and we'll be good.
Steele, tell us how you and your teammates look at the season as a whole. Obviously, you had a bump last week you didn't like. You came out tonight and really looked like Highland Park football, but when you look at the entire season and where you are right now, how do you all put it all in perspective?
Oh, last week, that just wasn't us. We weren't playing as a team. We're doing very good, but we just brought everything back together. We worked in practice every day to make sure we got better and make sure that this week was going to be good. And we're looking good right now. Just got to get the little things right so we can go beat teams that are definitely way better than Lake Highlands, and we'll be looking really good.
Steele Tobin, you're our Vincent and Elkins Offensive Player of the Game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I tell you what, we're giving Jay extra work down there, and he's in a very rapid succession.
I like it.
Now we're going to introduce our play of the game. I have junior offensive lineman Gage Clark with me. Gage, the running game tonight was phenomenal. We had a long touchdown for Axley. We had 2 long touchdowns for Peck. As well as Thompson later in the game. First of all, guys, are they able to play a highlight for us? Great. I can't see it, but you're making a great block right now. So tell us first of all, what was it like in the trenches tonight? How physical was it?
Every day is a physical battle. I mean, but this team, they were a little bit shorter, but they were definitely denser in size. They fought to the end of the play every game. But I just know my assignment is that I have to bury my face. I have to get in there, get my gap, get my person, and especially on that one play, I think stretch 7 crack P. It was to Axley, the foot in the middle. I have to fight to the outside shoulder, get him, hook him. And all I know is that I'm just helping my guys, Warren, Axley, Steele, Schneider, Thompson, Keller. I'm just out there helping them. It's all part of a puzzle, man,
Gage, I speak your language. I know everything you said with one exception. I've got to burn my face. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I'm just fighting. I'm like trying to get underneath them, lift them up, put my face in them, make them scared, be dominant out there.
I love it. There's always an offensive lineman who's a great talker who teaches me something, and you're my guy this year, so I appreciate it. Hey, so one other thing. Tell us about this week, how you all prepared after a rough week last week.
So this week, I mean, we had a new motivation. We just went, that hurt us last week. We remember that feeling. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we all came out, guns blazing, make sure every single minute was not wasted, working on new assignments, working on new plays, remembering old stuff, just going over the fundamentals. I mean, it was for sure, it was an all-out battle. New preparation. We had a new mindset going to practice this week, and it for sure helped.
Gage Clark, you're our offensive lineman of the game, and also our representative for play of the game. Congratulations, Gage Clark.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Our play of the game, by the way, brought to you by Riddell Plumbing, home of honesty, quality, and great customer service, and proud supporter of the Highland Park Scots.
I wanted to ask Jay. I don't know. I'm not sure he can hear me, but did they not teach defensive backs to burn your face? Is that just a lineman deal?
Yeah, it must be. It must be. Hey, I've got one other player of the game. We ready for this one?
Yeah, go.
Great. I have Wilson Axley with me, and he is our special teams player of the game. And special teams player of the game is brought to you by
Mark Clifton Homes, trusted builder of exceptional homes.
So Wilson, you know, obviously you could be our offensive player of the game as well. We always like to have a special teams player of the game. Tell us about how important it is to you and the entire team that y'all treat special teams as an equal to offense and defense.
I mean, it's super important because field position is one of the most important things. Statistically, Coach always talks to us about this. If we get a kick return or punt return within the 50 or the 40 of our own goal line, statistically we're so much higher chance of scoring. And so the coaches really harp on that. They do a great job of coaching us up. And just we spend Tuesdays mainly working on kick returns, punt returns, special teams, and they do a great job of it all. So.
Hey, Wilson, on punt returns tonight, it looked like y'all were setting up a wall to the left and later to the right. Talk about how much preparation it takes during the week in order for the guys to be able to set up that wall and truly keep all the kicking team inside the wall so you can get to the sideline like you were doing tonight.
Yes, sir. Definitely. I mean, well, we work that every day, I'd say, for a smaller period of time. Wednesday we work that for longer, but they just do such a great job. Coach Easton does a great job of helping out Coach Leitner. I mean, Coach Easton's sometimes hard on the guys, but it pays off in situations like tonight. So I love all those guys that will fight for me, selfless, so love them.
And Wilson, I'm going to break script. Even though you're our special teams player of the game, I've got one offensive question for you. One thing I love seeing this year is the versatility with you and Keller in there. Y'all can go two backs, you can go no backs, or any combination. Tell us what a threat that imposes on the defense when they don't know by personnel if you all are going five wide or if you're going two backs.
For sure. So we're trying to master just going quickly and switching personnel up so the defense can't get set. They're not ready for it. And we've been working a lot more to throw me at receiver and then keep Keller in the backfield because Keller's just an amazing runner. You want to get the ball in his hands for sure. And I'd love to play some receiver. I mean, just we're finding ways to get us both on the field in different ways, and it's cool.
And Wilson, last thing, my understanding is your aunt got second place in the Bradfield third grade spelling bee a few years back. Do you want to shout out to Margaret?
Hey, shout out to Margaret Servin, one of his good friends. Did you get first in that? I'm sure you probably got first in that.
Hey, I was proud of Margaret. Second's good too.
Margaret was very, very smart, and so were you. So.
Hey, Margaret's maybe your biggest fan. I've been reading about you, hearing about you ever since you started playing sports from your Aunt Margaret. So I'm happy you're having such great success.
Yes, sir, man. I love her and super excited for the rest of the season. So thank you.
Congratulations, Wilson Axley. He's our special teams player of the game, and that concludes our player interviews.
I think Wilson put it on, Jay, right there.
That was kind of funny. Hey, our Burger House postgame show continues. Burger House, official burger of Highland Park football. We've got time for just a couple of more things. Our stats, as Mike McAbee just finished up working on those. We'll take a look at those coming up here in just a second. Our game summary stats report for Martin Lyons Watts Morgan Law. Your business, their expertise. Take a look at these numbers.
There we go.
Passing yards, 257 to 2. Rushing yards, 199 to 99. Total yards, Irving did finally get into triple digits, up over 100 yards. And first downs, pretty lopsided in favor of Highland Park, as you would expect. No turnovers in the ball game tonight, so that was good for both teams. But again, Highland Park does well tonight. Scots have 8 different players who scored tonight. Field possession was a big part of tonight's game. The average starting field position for Irving was their own 22-yard line. For Highland Park, it was Irving's 48-yard line.
So the 40-yard difference right there between those two.
Well, week off, Highland Park gets to work on a few things, gets to rest up some of those bumps and bruises, get over those, and then they've got Jesuit coming up.
Yeah, big game with Jesuit coming up over at SMU, but I think the coaches got to be happy with how the Scots responded tonight. They came in here, obviously could have been sluggish, but they jumped right down Irving's throat, didn't give him a chance to breathe, and start the process of coming back to getting so they're playing where they want to be when the playoffs do get here.
A lot more fun when they turn in a win like they did tonight. Again, the final score 63-3. Highland Park wins. Our thanks to everybody who's associated with the telecast tonight, including our statistician Mike McAbee here in the booth. Pat Sauer and Jay Ellis along the sidelines. For my broadcast partner, Jay Ellis, what's your name? Jim
No,
Castellaw?
he's on the field. I'm Jim. Okay.
I'm Russell Scott. That's going to wrap things up. We're going to wish everybody a happy football. And wow, 63-3. The final. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks from Ford Stadium at SMU. The official burger of Highland Park football.
Burger House keeps my O-line fueled for the big games.
I got your back.
Mouth-watering burgers, famous fries, handmade shakes and malts made the old-fashioned way, like they were back in 1951, when we first opened our doors. Next time you have the urge for a double-double and Jack's Famous Fries, stop in and step back in time to our neighborhood restaurant. We would love to see you. Go Scots!